absolutely ridiculous. It's this preference of system where you were prioritising very average footballers because they fit a system rather than top-tier players like Kobbie Mainoo. Like, people forget quite how good Kobbie Mainoo was, Ade. Like, Kobbie Mainoo started for England in a Euros final. I feel like people have forgotten quite how good he was.
Dude, it's crazy.
Didn't he win them a cup as well?
Yeah,
He scored.
What's crazy about Kobbie Mainoo as well is that he won't go to the World Cup unless something drastic happens. And if someone told you that, 18 months ago, of course he's going to start.
Do you know if it became a toss-up between Ruben Amorim or Kobbie Mainoo, which I feel like it's becoming, I don't see why there's any reason to prioritise a manager over the player in this circumstance.
Yeah, and it's a player that probably wants out as well. He wants to play football and you can't blame him. All right, we're going to continue with your calls after the break. Loads of you, phone lines are lighting up here. 03717 223344. We want to hear from United fans now. It'll be very interesting to hear what your take is on what Rory just said there. Ruben Amorim versus Kobbie Mainoo. Who you taking, the manager or the midfielder?
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend. Even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there actually any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads for a century. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. His Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this kind of protection was pretty important for footballers. And so, in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says they must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, even though there have been calls for it to be changed. But for now, that's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Manchester United 2, Sunderland 0, and the full-time whistle blows as you come to us on Ruben Amorim's 50th game as Manchester United manager. He celebrates with 3 points.
Ruben, he needs to demonstrate he's a great coach over 3 years.
I don't see that happening, although they do raise their game, don't they, when they play in these big games. So there's been an awful lot on that one, but I don't see it ending well for Manchester United.
You never know. You never know. Remember, they were a Maguire. Remember, Maguire skied.
Oh, he had a great chance, didn't he? Last kick of the game.
Last kick of the game. I mean, that's anyone else. Like, that's the last person of all the people on the pitch. You'd rather Anana be there.
Do you know what? Maguire in that moment, like, he's got a lethal penalty on him.
Smacks one, didn't he?
Lethal penalty. Yeah, like I actually thought that Maguire was going to score. I don't think he was done. I can't remember the exact moment, but he wasn't done any favours by a teammate. I think it might have been Hoyland in his way.
Someone was either in front of him and he had to slide tackle it as opposed to smack it in. But you never know. I mean,
Manchester United will have chances. Manchester United, it's always
Liverpool
a tough game.
give you chances now. Liverpool concede first quite a lot in games. Thank Footballers Friday. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings in the studio with us until 10 o'clock. All right, a couple of texts have come through. Let me quickly read them out. This one says, Rory, Kirkes is being used as a third centre-back in build-up, not being used as an overlapping fullback, which he was so good at doing last season. I'll play Curtis Jones right back. This is the issue. That's 4 right backs this season already then. With Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and Wirtz in midfield, McAllister has been well below the level this season.
Yeah, I mean, I like Curtis Jones. I think he's a really good player. You're not a fan?
He's all right.
I think he's good, Addy.
He's a good player.
I think he's so valuable.
I said he's all right.
No, but he's so valuable for Liverpool. He's so valuable for what Liverpool want to be. He's a scouser in the team, isn't he? Like, do you remember his reaction to Trent Alexander-Arnold on the bus?
Yeah.
When
I think that's why you like him.
I like him for that.
Yeah. Do you like him for his football?
I thought he was brilliant as well.
You like him for his football?
In the Merseyside derby, he was brilliant.
Yeah, he understands the game.
In the Merseyside derby, he had someone up when it was necessary, right in front of the away supporter Goodison.
See, this is what you like, isn't it?
I think
you haven't mentioned anything about his football. You mentioned just what he did to Trent and the fact he went fisticuffs with an Everton player.
There's absolutely no doubt.
Talk to me about his football.
These are football things. These are football-related things. I genuinely mean that. Having somebody in the camp who is a scouser and understands what it means to have the live bird on your chest is very important. Yes. Having somebody in your team who is ready to have it up with any Everton player in the Merseyside derby right in front of the away support is very important. Having somebody on the bus ready to sort of mock Trent Alexander-Arnold for performatively crying and kind of going, he's doing it for the cameras. I think that having somebody like that in the dressing room is important. Okay, talk about the player on the pitch. I think he's a very tidy footballer. I think he's a very good footballer who allows the more creative players at Liverpool to thrive.
And that's the thing. I actually think he can be more creative. I remember watching him coming through when he used to play a lot of Carabao Cup games and Klopp kind of sort of, if you like, gave him the chances there and he was the leader.
He should score more goals. I remember
that's what I'm talking about.
Everton. He scored a winner against us.
Against Everton.
He scored a winner against us last year.
I feel like there should be a bit more of that. All right, let's go to the phone lines anyway. Let's go to Tom first, Manchester United fan. Tom, Ruben Amorim, he's been on thin ice, I think, since he came through the door. This formation thing still isn't working. He's got a new goalkeeper in. He's got a new forward line. The midfield seems still to be a bit all over the place. Where are you and Ruben, and how important is this game on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's extremely important. We'll just touch on a question before regarding who's more important, either Kobbie Mainoo or Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, just regarding that, I think Kobbie Mainoo 100%. I think a lot of United fans will back the manager, but I think it's very false. Kobbie Mainoo for England less than 18 months ago was one of the most important players for England. One of the big reasons they got to the final. And when Ruben Amorim actually joined Man United, he said he would turn Kobbie Mainoo into a beast, and he has done the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Because I remember liking him too. And obviously, look, this is the big name I'm going to mention next. I'm not saying he's that guy, but he just reminded me of Clarence Seedorf. his strength and composure on the ball. And even when people were surrounding him, he never felt like he was flustered. And all of a sudden, look, there's just no way, with your midfield looking like the way it is, that he just doesn't start or get a game. He barely gets minutes. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it's crazy. And you've got a Casemiro who can barely run. You've got a Garte who's been absolutely shocking since he's joined the club. So I don't understand what it takes for him to even get a minute.
No,
he keeps saying he can't play Bruno and Kobe together. Why not? Kobe Mainoo is a player that can, like you just said, be calm, be composed, keep the tempo of the game. And the fact that he's got Garte and Casemiro partnered up with him, it's just ridiculous.
Tom, I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. I feel like, look, I've got no real time for Ruben Amorim. I think he's a chancer and a fraud, if I'm completely frank with you. But the decision to ostracise Kobe Mainoo is one that we can't rationalise. It's one that doesn't make any sense. Kobe Mainoo is obviously a better player than Manuel Ugarte. The fact that Kobe Mainoo is sitting down watching Manuel Ugarte play football is a travesty. The fact that he's sitting there watching Bruno Fernandes play deep is a travesty. And it all reflects so badly on Ruben Amorim. I don't understand why people are being so generous. When you think some of the heat that we've given other managers, when maybe Frank Lampard was manager at Chelsea, when Steven Gerrard was manager at Villa, when you think about some of the stick that we've given, maybe even Mikel Arteta during his time at Arsenal, I feel like for some reason, Ruben Amorim, because he's got this ideology, because he's a bit of a hipster, and because he conforms to certain stereotypes that people like, he isn't given anywhere near the criticism he deserves. He's an absolute fraud. He's getting it completely and utterly wrong.
Yes, but I think United have been a mess since Fergie left, hasn't it? So it's almost like it's a big ship he's trying to steer and turn around. I think that's why he's almost given a bit more leeway. You're correct. I don't think he's the greatest manager in the world. And I said this. I think the job's too big for him. On Sunday, Tom, what are you thinking? I mean, look, it's a big game for both. Liverpool have hit a bit of a rock, haven't they? There's no good time to go to Anfield, but if there is, this might be it.
I think it's complete opposite, though. I think they've lost 3 games on the bounce. If anything, Liverpool are going to be up for this game more than they are with any of them on United games, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I do think United could be in. I think they could be in for a battering. I really do. I'm just being honest. I think even the Sunderland game, it looks better in parts of it, but I honestly think Liverpool will be up for that more than ever, especially after 3 defeats.
You know what I think, Tom? Tom, very quickly. You know what I think? I just don't think it can go on without Vert, Salah, and Isak doing something. They're all I think genuinely all 3 are world class, and I just don't think all 3 can be crap at the same time all the time. One of them have got to land, surely.
No, 100%. Salah's been quiet all season, and I think that new contract's probably a bit of curse on Salah. But Isak's surely going to start firing soon. Ekitike, what a player he is. I think United could be in for a terrible time. And the whole goalkeeper talk as well. I know he caught a few balls against Sunderland, but let's see what he's really made of when he's at Anfield. He's got the crowd on his back. It's going to be a completely different story, in my opinion. But yeah, we'll see. Great
stuff, Tom. Great call. Let's quickly go to Mooney, Liverpool fan. Mooney, look, it's been a shaky start, let's be honest, but it's still only 1 point behind Arsenal, who are favourites now for absolutely everything. Do we all just need to calm down a little bit and just expect the experienced players to kind of pull Liverpool through this?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And I never thought I'd agree with the Man United fan you had on just now. I definitely think we're going to win the game on Sunday. But what I want to talk about was, while I agree with the opinion that the new signings haven't quite gelled, we can't forget about the impact that obviously losing Jota has had on the entire squad. And if you look at the existing players who have all dropped off, like Konate, Salah, even Van Dijk to a degree, McAllister obviously hasn't had much minutes. These were the mainstay of the team last season. I just think that there has been obviously some psychological impact on the players. It's going to take some time. They're still grieving. Has to be. Yeah. And that, combined with the new signings, I think is the main cause of why we have been stuttering thus far.
Yeah, no, it's great point as well, Mooney. And I think it's a conversation that a lot of people, not that they don't want to have, it's just the understanding of how it will affect players going forward, because you just don't know, do you? When Liverpool winning, it's like Liverpool winning. When they losing, obviously people bring this up, but losing someone that clearly was a character within the squad, and the way in which he passed has to affect you.
Yeah, of course.
And it's a long-term effect, and it's something that will keep on coming up time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, it's so harrowing that it's going to cast a shadow over Liverpool for a long time. It's not just this generation of players that are going to feel it. It's going to be something that that will echo in, for an eternity for that club. But in terms of focusing on this fixture in hand, yes, there's so much going on, but ultimately Liverpool need to find a way to accrue the 3 points.
Agreed.
And how they go about doing that, a lot of the time when we talk about football, we try, don't we? And there are so many things that you want to see. You want to see your team playing in a particular way, adopting the manager's ideology. You want to see the system flourishing. You want to see Salah, Wirtz, Ekatike, Isak intertwining and making it impossible for defences. None of that is... Look, that would be wonderful from a Liverpool perspective. But there's no such thing as a bad win here for Liverpool. Liverpool just need to find a way to get back to winning ways, get this fixture out of the way. It's one of the most intense. Yeah. It's got to be the biggest fixture in the Premier League, isn't it? It's got to be, therefore, one of the biggest fixtures in the world.
Yeah, still is.
Liverpool just need this fixture out of the way. Win it. Don't worry about it for a few months when you worry about playing them again.
Yeah, especially when, as you say, Man City are on the horizon as well. You can't... You just have to win this game. Remember, Game Day Live will be from Anfield. Sam Matfrace alongside Alex Crook. Perry Groves is also going to be at a big game as well. Spurs against Aston Villa. All right, up next, we're going to be looking ahead to talkSPORT's exclusive commentary of another big game. Ange Postecoglou desperate for a win. Winless in 7 so far. As new boss of Forest, he takes on a Chelsea side that are coming off a very, very good win against Liverpool. More on that when we come back.
a morning. That is what the Nottingham Forest fans think of their new head coach.
7 matches, that's now without a win.
And I don't really blame Ange. I blame Marinakis. I just sat Nuno.
I think he'll get them going sooner rather than later.
I love you, Stuart Pearce. I do. I swear I do, but you're wrong. He won't get them going. I don't think he's going to get a chance. Thank Footballers Friday, Ade Oladipo. Ange Postecoglou, who's not won any of these 7 games in charge, and they take on a Chelsea side who are coming to the City ground after that really good win and good performance against Liverpool. Ange Postecoglou has been his usual defiant self when speaking to the media. This is what he had to say.
Firstly, is to ignore everything that's going on, because it's of no concern to me, and I can't control. So I've always, again, I dealt with this in my last sort of 4 months at Spurs. Every week I'd get questions about my future. It didn't stop me bringing success to that club. I'm pretty comfortable in embracing the challenge that's before me. I think the biggest thing for me is to make sure that we don't lose track of what we set out to do, and part of that was, change the way we play, and not trying to sort of look for some magical solution to, change the current climate. Because, as I said, even we win tomorrow, then it'll be about Thursday, and then we win Thursday, it'll be about the next game. So that will always be the noise.
And Postecoglou speaking to the media ahead of that game tomorrow.
The front he's got, it's unbelievable.
He's won a trophy.
He can have confident as that man. I cannot.
He's won silverware though.
It is absolutely mind-blowing what we've just witnessed there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely mind-blowing. He has the audacity to talk with that level of confidence off the back of nearly taking Tottenham Hotspur down.
And winning them a European trophy.
Look,
and winning them a European trophy. You seem to forget. Well,
Look,
these things happen. These things don't happen for Spurs.
Let me draw a parallel. One of Chelsea's worst ever managers. One of the worst managers ever had.
No, you can't draw this parallel.
Why not?
Because Chelsea win silverware.
No.
Chelsea, in the last 20 years, have always won silverware.
No, well, actually, the parallel that I'm about to draw is with a manager who rarely managed to not win silverware. But our worst ever manager, in my opinion, certainly in the Premier League era, post like Ian Porter.
This is really interesting because there's 3 here that I'm thinking about.
Avram Grant.
I thought you were going to say Rafael Benitez.
Avram Grant was a Rizzler paper away from winning London's first ever European Cup.
Yeah.
If John Terry sticks it in the back of the net rather than slipping, Chelsea win a European Cup under Avram Grant. Are you going to tell me that Avram Grant is therefore a good manager? Because I guarantee you this, Avram Grant is inept. One of the worst managers Chelsea have ever had Premier League era. But he's a Rizzler paper away from winning European Cup.
Ange Postecoglou wins silverware.
Ange Postecoglou nearly took Tottenham Hotspur down. Ange Postecoglou is going to take Nottingham Forest down unless Mr. Marinakis gives him the tin tack.
Yeah, look, as defiant as he is, and me trying to play devil's advocate, the fact is he's been in charge for 7 games, and they've not won in those 7 games. They've lost 4 of their last 5 Premier League games, and failing to score in each of those defeats. So they're not even scoring anymore. And that's what's scary. Remember, last season, going forward, they were flying for. Remember, you remember when they had Elanga? Hudson-Odoi, Elanga and Chris Wood.
White through the middle.
It was just electric. You couldn't stop it going forward. All of a sudden...
Do you know why? Because it really is as simple as this. What Mr. Marinakis has done is get rid of a proven good manager in Nuno Espirito Santo. Whatever you think of Espirito Santo, however good you think he is undoubtedly a decent Premier League manager with a decent Premier League record who will go on to manage in the Premier League again to a decent level.
Oh, is that West Ham?
They have got rid of a good manager and they have appointed a dreadful manager, a proven dreadful manager, a manager that managed to take Tottenham onto the periphery of relegation.
Yeah.
A manager that has taken Tottenham to the depths of despair.
Okay,
why
do you think he's got the job? Do you think it is because of the European success? Obviously, Forest in Europe for the first time in, I don't know, nearly 2 decades. Is that what it is?
I think
is he thinking
there's a pre-existing friendship? I think there's a pre-existing friendship. I think that there's a hope that it could work. But whatever you think about Mr. Marinakis, there's no doubt in my mind that what he wants is the best for Forest. The furtherance of Nottingham Forest is at the epicentre of his mind. And he will deduce very quickly, that this man is not the man for the job. You know, fairly recently they were linked with Iraola and all that. Now they're going to have to appoint someone like Sean Dyche just to survive. From Espirito Santo via Postecoglou to
Why does Dyche
Dyche.
get mentioned, by the way? Where's this come from?
Because Dyche will keep him up. That's why. Because Dyche will keep him up. They're going down at them.
Didn't keep Burnley up.
Dyche gives them a fight.
Everton were a Rizzler paper away from going down with
look
Dyche.
Look how good this Forest team are. They should be nowhere near the relegation zone. Look at what he's done since he's gone in there.
I just realised I said Rizzler paper. What have you done to me? An awful saying. I said, these are Forest's next fixtures. Obviously Chelsea. Then they got Porto midweek, European game. Obviously Bournemouth after that. Manchester United after that. Another European game. Then Leeds and Liverpool.
Yeah, they need to sack him.
They need to make a decision now, don't they?
They need to sack him or they want to go down. Like the best thing that ever happened to the likes of Leeds United and Burnley this season and their quest to survive, the best thing that could have happened to them was someone random being dragged into it. Because somebody needs to fill those 3 spaces that are ultimately going to go to the Championship. If one of them can be Nottingham Forest, then maybe Leeds survive. It's great news for the teams that are hoping to survive.
You know, you say Sean Dyche, and I had a dig. You're not the only one. I think a few people have mentioned Sean Dyche because ultimately he knows what to do in the Premier League. Would fans be happy with that? With what we saw from Nottingham Forest last season, on the cusp of Champions League football, I think, up until sort of beginning of April, they were there, favourites. Would fans be happy with Sean Dyche being the new manager?
No, it's
Nottingham
not.
Forest.
It's certainly not what they expected this time last year. It's certainly not what they expected when we were talking in February. I remember listening to this very station. I remember where I was exactly when I was driving when Simon Jordan and Jim White had a bet about where Nottingham Forest were going to finish. And
what was it? What
I think Jim White was ready to say that they could win the league.
Wow.
And that was fair. That was this calendar year.
Yeah.
And then I think they ended up talking about top 4, and they both, I think at the time, agreed that top 4 was certainly within their grasp. Now they just have to survive.
You're not scary.
And Sean Dyche, they just have to survive, whether the fans are happy with it or not. Nottingham Forest know, maybe more than any support base, the pitfalls and the rigorous nature, the arduous nature of getting out of that Championship.
And talking about arduous nature, they don't have the biggest squad. Or let's just phrase it another way. They don't have the best squad. They're in Europe as well. Look, of those next 5 fixtures I just mentioned, 2 of those are Thursday. So they're playing Thursday, Sunday. Like, they can't do that.
No.
You know what I mean? Listen, they've already given the advantage to the teams, trying to stay up already. Because they can't play 2 games a week.
What needs to happen now, if you're a Forest fan, is you need to really hope that you can have a successful stint in Europe, and you need to survive. They are the only 2 things that matters. Look, this time last year and earlier this year, you were talking about where they could go next. Could they get Iraola? Could they potentially go one step further last year and get into the Champions League? Could they have a decent European run? All of those questions were fantastic questions that I wish we could explore now. I like Nottingham Forest. I've done a lot of England aways in my time, and Forest always travel well. I've got a lot of respect for Nottingham Forest and their support. But they need to survive. And with Postecoglou, they go down. So the only thing they can do is make their peace with the likes of Sean Dyche, get to 40 points this season, and then maybe next year you get a bit
how crazy it is. Obviously, look, Marinakis has come in and he's chucked a lot of his own money into the club, and I think a lot of Forest fans appreciate it. He's ruined everything. Like, what he's done, like getting rid of Nuno and whatever, however that worked out. I mean, they were in Europe on a great run. The fans and the players respected and loved Nuno. He's playing a brand of football which worked for them. All of a sudden, we're talking about relegation.
It looks, what they've done with the appointment of Postecoglou is, it feels like they've pressed a self-destruct button.
Yeah.
But I do have enough faith in Marinakis and his aspiration for the club that he will put it right. Like, he's not just going to sit there and wait. He's a reactive, proactive man.
I think we know, yeah.
Look, when Chelsea go 3-0 up,
he's the kind of person
before half time.
He'll sack him at half time.
Yeah, when Chelsea go 3-0 up before half time, he's going to be on the pitch.
He will be. All right, lunchtime kickoff tomorrow. I remember Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. It is a Premier League talkSPORT exclusive. It's going to be presented by the great Reshman Chowdhury alongside Sam Matterface and former Watford striker Troy Deeney. All right, Middlesbrough against Ipswich is about to get underway on talkSPORT 2. But up next, we're going to be turning our attention.
What do you get when some of the most individual sports stars club together? Well, a melting pot of history, tension, rivalry, friendship and elite stories. Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from the Ryder Cup. Number 1, Tiger's loo roll. The protagonist, Lee Westwood's former caddy, Billy Foster, set in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the 2 cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, 1 up." As it happened, Europe did go on to win. Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina, when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano or Seve. There's no Steve, huh? There's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates, but a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1, and it's Esteban who has won it.
It is a younger squad. It is still in that sort of development stage, and yeah, hopefully that gives a boost. They've got a lot of talent in the squad.
I think we will be there. I think come the end of the season, we will be challenging for the title.
That was the voice of John Obi Mikel. Of course he's going to say that. I was with him during the Club World Cup, and he just kept on saying that. I was like, stop. Chelsea are not going to challenge for the title. They haven't got the right goalkeeper and they have no defenders. But that said, they should. I think they should make a good fist of it to be there or thereabouts if Man City, Arsenal, or Liverpool slip up. Fair?
No, not really.
No,
I don't. I think it's a 2-horse race, don't you?
No, I think it's a 3-horse race.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think City there. I think City there.
Look, the only way they can put it out the bag is if Haaland, and look, Haaland is a different version of Haaland. Like, I haven't always been particularly full of praise with regard to Erling Haaland, but I do concede that he is looking like something else this year.
Looking possessed.
Do you know what? Do you know what I think it is? Do you know what I think really demonstrates it? It's the variety of goals, like the different goals. Like, you know, the winner that he got against Brentford. That felt like a very Haaland-like goal.
I love the way he bullied that defender.
Yeah, just fought his way to it.
Who are you?
But there have been other goals this season. There was one in Europe, Monaco.
Yeah.
That backwards header, clever, Teddy Sheringham like ingenuity. And that isn't the kind of thing that you associate with Haaland. It was a different kind of goal.
Now. He's just he's actually unstoppable.
Do you think that there's a world where football, in its simplest form, is don't concede goals and score a lot of them? Right? You've got arguably the best goalkeeper in the world in Donnarumma in the goal, and Erling Haaland up front. Can Donnarumma and Haaland basically propel City to a title challenge and maybe even a title? No, I don't think so.
Challenge, yes. Sorry, no. Title, no. But I think they'll be there or thereabouts.
Do you not think that City are just clearly the third best team in the league? Like, they're not as good as Arsenal or Liverpool, but they're far better than Chelsea.
I think they're clearly the third best team in the league, but they've clearly got the best manager in the league.
Yes, but I just think that they're so much better than whoever ultimately finishes fourth. Whoever you believe finishes fourth, City are a lot better than them. But whoever you believe finishes second, City aren't as good as them.
Maybe it's good debate. I do think we'll know sort of, I don't know, the start of 2026. I think if they're thereabouts in January, where a lot of the big players leave a lot of the clubs because the African Cup of Nations, we'll see what City can do. Who's the better midfielder, Caicedo or Declan Rice?
Oh, it's a great question, isn't it? It's a question that seems...
This is tough for you because you've got your English allegiance, which obviously is very, very important, and you've got your Chelsea allegiance.
No, my allegiance, if I was going to be just biased about it, I would just go Chelsea, like regardless of my my sort of patriotism.
One of them played for Chelsea as well.
But I would also say that, can I break it down in quite a complex way?
Okay.
Overall, and I'll tell you my logic. Overall, I'm going to say Declan Rice is better. And here's my logic. At being a number 8, Declan Rice is better than Caicedo. At being a number 6, Caicedo is better than Rice. But Rice is nearly as good as a 6 as Caicedo, whereas Rice is a lot better as an 8. So overall, you go Declan Rice. But at his specific job,
Caicedo does, like, I actually think Caicedo could be a good 8, but he's not allowed to be. Because when I've seen that boy go forward, I mean, look at the goal he scored against Liverpool. He can rifle them in. But it's almost like, oh, don't go past that area. You've got to come back and let Enzo deal with that area. But I think Caicedo could be a lot better.
Caicedo as a number 8, I
think it's fantastic.
Isn't as good as Rice is at number 8.
But Caicedo's a better 6.
Caicedo is a better 6, but
so the overall
Rice is nearly as good
element,
as Caicedo. Overall, Rice is better, but at Caicedo's job, Caicedo is better. Caicedo's job is to be a deep lying midfielder.
Yeah,
and I think he is excellent. I think he is excellent at that, but I rate Declan Rice so highly. The only element of criticism that I could give to Declan Rice, and I say this criticism through the lens of praise, I think he's so good that I expect more from him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why he's not scoring 15 goals.
Yeah, there was times at West Ham, maybe it's my own fault, but there were times when I thought, enough reminds me of Gerrard. But Gerrard obviously added the goals.
He's just...
like he Gerrard could have done a 6, Gerrard can do the 8, and Gerrard eventually became almost like a 10 and then went back to a 6, right? You know, a 10 when Torres was there. But Gerrard added goals. Yeah. And I look at Declan, I know we saw those goals against Real Madrid, but they were free kicks. I feel like there's so much more he could do.
Yeah,
but maybe there isn't. I don't know.
I mean, I think that Declan Rice has everything in his game. We've seen him have big moments, scoring a winner, a late winner as well against Manchester United. Late winners for Arsenal. Obviously, the moment in the Bernabeu when he was like unplayable. Then the goals that he scored in the home fixture against Real Madrid. England, he's been unplayable, and he was integral to West Ham winning a European trophy. So there's no doubt that Declan Rice is a top tier, elite level player.
Top tier.
I just think he's so good, and I rate him so highly. And I like him as well. It's very rare that I like an Arsenal player, but I love Declan Rice. I like Saka. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're quite likeable.
Yeah.
I just almost think Declan Rice is so good.
There's another level to be unlocked.
Yeah, why isn't he scoring 15 goals a season?
Don't know.
He knows where the back of the net is. He hits them really well. He hits them so true.
Yeah.
He's clever. He's got a good finish on him. He's got a great way to pass. Why isn't he timing that run? You know, that late run.
Yeah. Especially now that Zubimendi's there.
Because
Zubimendi's a quality player, isn't it? So you can almost allow Declan to go and sort of join in.
You know how you brought up Gerrard there, though?
Go on.
Do you think that the legacy of Steven Gerrard isn't getting anywhere near the respect that it deserves? Like, I think if you live Gerrard, so if you're our age, if you live Gerrard, you just think he is unplayable. Whereas I've seen, the reason I bring this up is I saw a list compiled of Liverpool's greatest players ever, Premier League era.
Yeah.
So John Barnes, it probably isn't in it. Premier League era only, right? Ian Rush probably isn't in it.
Of course, yeah.
And what I thought was very surprising was, in my head...
Don't dare tell me he wasn't number 1 in every list.
Well, I saw 5 Liverpool fans put their lists together. And
average age of 23.
Well, of the 5, 3 had Mohamed Salah at number 1. Whereas for me, who lived Gerrard and Salah, I think Salah's an icon. Like, unbelievable footballer. Unbelievable. True great at the game. But Gerrard is Liverpool's greatest Premier League player ever. And that isn't really up for debate in my head. But am I wrong? I don't know. Liverpool fans will have to say. When I talk about other clubs, I'm always ready to defer to their fans.
Yeah.
If Liverpool fans tell me en masse it's not Gerrard,
you know what it is? It's been Gerrard for so long without any debate, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there's a guy that's come along, and you now can have a debate.
I just don't see.
You can have a debate.
Steven Gerrard is Liverpool's best Premier League player ever.
Been so consistent for 8 seasons. Like there's been no drop off to the point where he's had 3 bad games. I was like, get rid of him, sub him.
Yeah.
Salah's so good.
But Gerrard,
Salah's so good.
Do you not think Gerrard? People are forgetting the true brilliance of Steven Gerrard at everything as well. Yeah. Like Salah is excellent. But there are obvious flaws. I love how we were talking about Chelsea. We just veered off to whatever we want to be. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, this is that was my fault. I said the Declan Rice thing.
You brought up Declan Rice, and then I just brought up something that I saw on Twitter. It's ridiculous. It's Friday night, though.
Yeah. I think the person driving home from work's listening to this and loving it.
I hope, or not. But look,
it's a good debate. But I do think
any debate?
There is a debate.
Mohamed Salah
there has to be
is
a debate now.
A better Premier League player for Liverpool than Gerrard. Gerrard's one of the best players I've ever seen. I think if I were to say one of the best players I've ever seen is Ronaldinho. On that list is Gerrard.
Mohamed Salah's numbers for Liverpool from wide right.
Goals are different. Goals are astonishing. I know. He's not a million miles away from Ian Rush's.
Yeah, he's eclipsed Gerrard. You know what I mean? Like, goals are the hardest thing to do, right? Goal scorers are the hardest things to find. And Mo Salah's come in, and I think first season, obviously, at 44 goals, whatever it is in all competition, everyone's like, yeah, it's going to drop down. And it did to 25, 30, 28, 32, 28. Maybe should have won a Ballon d'Or. Always been in the Ballon d'Or conversation. And even last season, if it wasn't for a dip towards the back end of last season, I mean, he came 4th in the Ballon d'Or rank, and everyone was upset. You know how good he is. I think he's so good.
But okay, can I
Champions League winner?
Can I justify
Premier League winner?
Let me demonstrate how highly I rate Gerrard. I think that Mohamed Salah over the years has deserved a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
At various points in the last 8 years, I believe that he has been the best player in the world, and almost cumulatively, in the way that I believe Harry Kane deserves a Ballon d'Or, I kind of feel Mohamed Salah does. There's no way that.
There we go. 1 second. 1 hour, 14 minutes, 17 seconds into the show. Harry Kane gets a mention.
Right. Yeah, but they do. I think that Salah has. I wouldn't argue that Gerrard deserves a Ballon d'Or. So that's how highly I rate Salah. I think that Salah does. But Gerrard was obviously playing in an era where it was very difficult to be considered. If Gerrard was playing now, he would have won back-to-back Ballon d'Ors, no doubt. But Gerrard is Liverpool's best Premier League player of all time. Unless somebody en masse can tell me that I'm wrong. And look, Liverpool fans listen to this. They could just be saying it's not Gerrard anymore, or you got it wrong. It's now Salah.
You know what the argument would be? The argument would be, obviously, in Gerrard's early years at Liverpool, people might look at the squad and think he just wasn't playing a good enough squad. And the idea, some people say, is that Salah's playing a much better squad with a much better manager in Klopp, and now, obviously, with Arne Slot. So Salah's benefited from the fact that Liverpool are a powerhouse. But I do look at some of the players that Gerrard was playing with, and he wasn't playing with scrubs towards the back end. I mean, maybe Liverpool's best number 9 in Suarez. He had Torres, he had Mascherano, he had Alonso, he had Hippie, he had Carragher. Good players as well. You got to look at what Salah's done for this Liverpool squad. It's been incredible. It has been incredible. And you know what?
Come on then, who do you think?
2 Premier League titles as well. 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League win, a couple of Champions League finals.
I know the numbers and I know the trophy all, but it's Gerrard. Come on, look, you're a Liverpool fan then. Tell me, rank top 3 Liverpool players of the Premier League era in your opinion.
3 to 1 or
3 to 1.
3 to 1, so it gives it a bit of tension. 3 is... Ooh, man. Virgil van Dijk is 3.
Already?
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk is 3. Yeah, Virgil van Dijk, Salah, Gerrard.
Salah, Gerrard. You've done it in the...
What did you have when you did yours? What did you have?
I had Suarez high. I thought you were going to say
so
Suarez.
High, didn't stay long enough.
I would say Suarez.
Didn't stay long enough. And you know what? Crucially, didn't win anything. Didn't win anything. And he was phenomenal. Yeah, there's no silverware.
I've never seen a player like Suarez.
Oh, he's
I've never seen anything like it. That season when he was banned for the first 7 games of the season has still won a gold. I've never seen anything like it.
No, you're
if I were doing, from the outside looking in, Liverpool's 3 best players that I've ever seen, Premier League era, Luis Suarez, Mohamed Salah, Steven Gerrard top by a mile.
There's no way Suarez's impact at Liverpool is bigger than Virgil van Dijk's. As soon as Virgil van Dijk came, that defence just went, you're not getting past it. He literally came and it was like...
Don't underestimate that Suarez team. Suarez changed Liverpool. Suarez is one of the best Premier League players of all time.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
What was it, 3 seasons?
He was amazing.
And banned for about half of them. Very quick, let's go back to Chelsea very, very quickly, because, a couple of seasons ago, if you told me that Chelsea would even be in the conversation to be top 4 and didn't have Cole Palmer, I'd have said you're crazy, because it felt like he was carrying him on his back by himself. All of a sudden, Cole Palmer's out and he's still performing. That must be a bright light. I know you're not the biggest fan of Enzo, but that must be, Enzo Maresca that is, but that must be a bright light. Like, we can actually do this now without the brilliance and genius of Cole Palmer. We can actually win big games.
Yeah,
beat Liverpool without him. You know what I mean?
we did in a spectacular moment. And Estevao is a version of Cole Palmer. Estevao is like a wonder kid.
Yeah,
untamable, unpredictable, just truly, truly brilliant. And I hope that Enzo Maresca's brave enough to throw him in the deep end. But it's an half a disaster, Addy, that Cole Palmer's injured like this.
Yeah, and he's going to be out for longer as well.
Yeah, you've been quite kind in the way that you summed it up there, and you've tried to kind of put a positive spin on it. I think that it's so damaging. I think that Chelsea's top 4 hopes are affected massively.
Without him.
Yeah.
And you're not even seeing Delap yet. So you've not seen your best front three, or that best kind of triangle of a front three. You've not even been able to see it yet, which is a problem. Very quickly, score prediction: Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. Go on.
It's Postecoglou, isn't it? Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 4. And the good, I've got one bit.
Why do you quickly move on from saying that?
Because I mean, obviously Chelsea beat her. I've got one bit of good news for Forest fans who obviously don't want to see their team get beat.
Go on.
If it goes as I predict it does, that will be the end of Postecoglou, so you can start getting better. Things have to get worse before they get better. Get worse against Chelsea. Oh, wow.
Can only get better.
It's that scientist geezer, isn't it?
Don't know. I just don't know. That's all I know.
Brian Cox, I'm sure that was him.
Can only get better.
Mate, you're the gift that keeps giving.
Very good. I can do a lot.
You could be in a boy
We've already
band.
known about this.
You could be in a boy band.
Yeah, we are a boy band. Or a man band. All right, up next, we're going to be looking at the talkSPORT game on Monday night. West Ham host Brentford. But should the fans be protesting?
going to be a slog.
We look at ourselves, we take responsibility. We're the ones that play week in, week out.
And our priority is now that we compete, more togetherness, more unity, more desire.
There's never going to be a convenient time for this boycott. We just have to do it.
And it's about time we started getting behind the players and the team. The ball are going nowhere, we all know that.
We've won 2 home games at that stadium in 2025.
And Nuno's got to be the one somehow to try and lift the fans, the players.
You know, if I go back to 2019, I joined the club in the Championship.
It finishes at the G-Tech. Brentford 0, Manchester City 1.
So a couple of weeks ago when we're coming off the pitch and we're disappointed that we haven't got a point against Manchester City at home. That's the difference. That's the expectations now that surround Brentford.
Jensen's going to go for goal and win the game with an absolute stunner.
Thank Football, it's Friday. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings. We are talking West Ham versus Brentford. It's a Monday night game. It is exclusive to talkSPORT. I do want to talk about the game because I do want to talk about both managers. Obviously, both managers. Nuno just coming in. We understand the pressure as being the new Brentford boss with Thomas Frank going out. But this is more about the boycott or the staging of a boycott before the match, during the match, maybe even after the match as well. And if you're a West Ham fan, I understand it. I mean, as you guys probably know, I'm from Stratford. I've been to the old stadium, Upton Park. Naughty, horrible. And what I mean, I say that in a nice way. Like, if you're going there as an away fan, you know you're about to not enjoy it, put it that way. The new stadium, I've been there as well. I've been to a few games at the new stadium, the London Stadium, the Olympic Stadium. Awful. I just, no atmosphere, almost soulless a bit. It's just not their stadium. And I think West Ham fans know it's not their stadium. So they've not made it their stadium. And that's why they're boycotting. That's why they want the owners to understand that, what are you doing? You've almost the soul's been ripped out of West Ham. Upton Park, you've been there as a Chelsea fan. When you get off at Upton Park Station, or you get off the station before, and you know you've got to walk through Queen's Market, Plaistow.
Yeah, walk past that pub, Queen's
on the corner.
Yeah.
You know. And then you go into the ground and you're right on the pitch. You're right looking at the players. This isn't that. No, it's got a track around it.
So West Ham fans protesting here. Anybody who's getting on their high horse and trying to have a pop at West Ham fans for doing the wrong thing doesn't understand football, doesn't understand fan culture, and probably should butt out of an issue that has nothing to do with them. I entirely see West Ham United as a rival, and I don't wish them success on the pitch. But I wholeheartedly stand with West Ham United fans who are trying to salvage something from their club, who are trying to support their club, and are trying to make West Ham again. They are doing their best to make their voices heard. They are doing their best to demonstrate their unhappiness at
Is
the way.
Is it the right time, though? New managers come in. Nuno needs the fans more than ever. West Ham fans need the players need the fans more than ever. If Graham Potter was still in charge, you can almost say it was a boycott towards Graham Potter and the owners. Does Nuno deserve this? Is this the right time to boycott?
It's not aimed at Nuno, and I think if you try and position it, if anybody's trying to position it as West Ham fans not backing their team, not backing the new manager, I think that it's a very disingenuous way to present the argument. That isn't what West Ham fans are doing here. West Ham fans are trying to save their club. Going to that stadium, going to see West Ham United play, you look at the way that the board have been run over recent years, and not actually all that recent. It is a disgrace. West Ham United fans deserve the support of the football supporters in the country, regardless of whether you like West Ham, regardless of whether you are a rival. I see them as a massive rival, right?
Yeah.
East versus West London. I've been over to West Ham, both to the new ground and the old ground, and the hatred that was on display when we would go down. I remember seeing Frank Lampard have to take 3 penalties, retake the same penalty 3 times, ping everyone in, the hatred, the booing that he got. And as much as it was horrible, as much as I don't wish them any success, that's football. They are a proper club that deserve to be that. And whilst they're a rival, and I don't want them to be good, you want them to exist. You want the Premier League's a better place for having West Ham United in it. At the moment, when you go to that new ground and you're cutting through a Westfield and you're going for a beer in the Cow and you're paying £8.50 for a pint or whatever, that isn't West Ham. West Ham, what you're supposed to be doing is getting off at Plaistow, taking your pin badge off until you get to the ground, keeping a very low profile, and that is West Ham United, home and away. They've got very good travelling support. They've got an excellent home support. That chicken run and all that, it was a brilliant stadium.
Yeah.
And effectively, those fans have been betrayed. So if anybody is having the luxury of sitting on talkSPORT with a mic in front of them and trying to reposition this as West Ham United maybe betraying their club or not supporting their team or not giving the manager the love that he deserves. It isn't that. West Ham United fans are doing the right thing.
All right, Rory Jennings, just picture it now, getting off the train at Plasto Station, taking his pin badge off. All right, let's hear from West Ham boss Nuno Espirito Santo. This is what he's had to say about the fans potentially boycotting Monday's night game.
I wish they hold there. I hope that all our fans could join us and help us facing Brentford, because it's going to be very tough. And like I said, and it's an honest reflection, it's up to us now to give back to the fans so they can come closer and support us.
It'll be interesting to see what happens in that game on Monday. Sweden, by the way, is this news coming into us. Sweden are close to appointing Graham Potter. He's fading upwards. Fading upwards, isn't he? Graham Potter is their new head coach.
They must enjoy not qualifying for tournament.
Initially on a short-term contract to cover 3 games to try and qualify for the World Cup. Obviously, that's where he kind of got his apprenticeship done, didn't he, in Sweden? So he understands the country. He's going back there, it looks like.
I mean, how does this... Best agent in the world, isn't he?
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes, he makes a pig's ear of a job and seems to get another job.
Some people say that about us. All right, over on talkSPORT, currently there is exclusive action from the Championship. It's Middlesbrough 0, Ipswich 0, and we can join the action now with former Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo and your match commentator John Dunn.
Move from Leeds. There's another interception. Middlesbrough quickly on the ball. Alan Brown was famous for that kind of challenge at Preston, where he made over 400 appearances before that move to Sunderland. Here is a ball on to Conway, who's building on the left-hand side. Ball into Hackney on the edge of the area. Here's Hackney into the area. He's blocked off Ipswich with so many players back inside the penalty area. As we welcome listeners from talkSPORT to this game. Live on talkSPORT 2, Middlesbrough 0, Ipswich 0. We've had 29 minutes at the Riverside Stadium. 2 sides at the top of the table, both only losing 1 game so far this season. Chris Iwelumo is alongside me. It's been frantic, Chris. We're just waiting for a bit of quality in there.
Yeah, end to end, isn't it? You're seeing little glimpses. It's just that end product. You know, as soon as it's good quality into that attack and third, and then that's where it just kind of starts to drop. That final pass, that final decision just needs to be a little bit better. Hayden Hackney starting to see a lot of the ball, driving forward, showing those qualities. But again, just that final pass, that final little bit of quality just let them down.
Middlesbrough can go top tonight with a victory, unbeaten here at the Riverside this season. Ipswich yet to win away from home, but a win would take them third, and they do have 1 more game to play than everyone else. That's due to that infamous game at Blackburn that still needs to be replayed. That'll happen in December as Leif Davis gets in behind, and it's a shot from Hurst on the penalty spot. Big handball appeals. It was Del Fry who threw himself in front of the ball. Davis got to the byline, pulled it back to Hurst, who was in space. Fry definitely got in front of it. From here it looked like it was an outstretched hand. The referee is surrounded by Ipswich players.
Well, I think when you look at this, Del Fry's threw himself at the ball. It's a natural position for the hand when you're actually trying to get the block in, when you're sliding. I'm going to have a look at it on the monitor now. Josh Hurst does everything right, comes on to the goal, doesn't move. For me, it's no penalty.
No penalty, Chris. Come on, Chris Iwelumo. That is a stone wall of that. I mean, you can't. Put on gloves. Put on gloves. I mean, come on.
What a save, mate.
All right, 0-0. I guess Ipswich, look, they get a corner, but that's the second prize, isn't it, in that one? That game right now live over on talkSPORT 2. All right, up next, we're going to be looking at salary caps potentially being introduced to the Premier League. Good evening, thank football. It's Friday. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings. All right, do you want the chance to win £100,000? Yes, please. All right, then listen up. It's our biggest cash prize yet, and we're going to give you all the money. That's right, a massive £100,000, completely tax-free. It could be yours. This is how you enter.
18 plus UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a TalkSPORT limited promotion run on TalkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Is that it? Can we enter then? Is it like can TalkSPORT employees enter? Is that a bit?
Yeah, the thing is, it would look like a carve-up. Even if you won it legitimately, it looks like a carve-up. So probably not.
Probably not. Right. All right. The latest episode of the TalkSPORT Daily Podcast is available right now. As Rory Jennings and Harry Symeou clash over whether introducing a salary cap would be a good or bad thing for football.
Do you realise that footballers, generally speaking, are underpaid? In terms of what they generate.
Come on, Rory.
No. In terms of
how on earth is a footballer underpaid?
In terms of what they generate. The reason why people make money is because they generate money.
Right.
In terms of what footballers generate, like the reason that David Beckham fell out with Manchester United was over his image rights, because he was generating a fortune for the club and he wasn't being remunerated in the same way.
Without the platform that club provides, that footballer can't generate that money.
Yeah, so they split it.
Because if you turn up to Stamford Bridge on a Saturday, there's 40-odd thousand people there to watch Chelsea, not to watch Cole Palmer.
All right, if you want to hear more on that, as well as Simon Jordan's view on the debate as well, which is very interesting, then the TalkSPORT Daily is available on all podcast platforms right now. All right, let's continue that conversation. We are going to hear from Shahid Khan, by the way, the owner of Fulham. He spoke to Will Gavin about that. We'll hear that in a minute. You know what? I actually agree with you for once. I think this is crazy, but I think it's my watching of American sport and realising what they earn. Top NBA players, top NFL players, top baseball players. You're talking, they're on hundreds of millions for 3 years.
What I don't understand is, I don't know why there is this perennial attack on footballers.
No.
Like, I think that the game is broken, and I think that there is too much money sloshing around the game. I think there is a problem, right? The equilibrium of football is off. The fact that Marseille, a brilliant big club, can't compete with the likes of Brighton is a problem. The fact that Bournemouth have spent more money in their most recent window than Bayern Munich or whatever, it's a problem. Yeah. But I don't think attacking players, saying that they earn too much money, is where the issue lies. Why is it, and I genuinely don't know the answer to this question, why is it that when we talk about people being overpaid, we always talk about footballers? Like, is anybody talking about how much money who's a supermodel at the moment?
I know what you mean.
I don't know. Naomi Campbell. Why are we not saying that she earns too much?
Why do we go back to the 90s? That's how old.
Cindy Crawford.
Yeah, we've gone back to the 90s.
They're the only models I know.
Yeah.
Heidi Klum.
Yeah, we're definitely in the 90s. Claudia Schiffer.
Claudia Schiffer, yeah. Like,
I know what you mean.
Why are we always...
I think because footballers come from working class backgrounds. Yeah. And it's almost like working class people who go and support them. It's the difference between... I think fans want to feel like they're relatable to footballers. And when you hear of footballers on more than you earn in your lifetime, it almost just sounds ridiculous.
But there always seems to be this effort to curb what footballers are. Like, the average footballer in the Premier League probably earns about, 50, 60 grand a week?
The average, yeah.
That's a huge amount of money compared to the average person, but it's not a huge amount of money compared to Hollywood film stars.
Agreed.
Why are we not curbing their wages?
Yeah.
Why are we not curbing Heidi Klum's wages or Kendall Jenner's wages? I've just Googled it. The highest paid model is Giselle Bundchen. I've never even heard of her.
Shut up! You've not heard
whoever
of her.
That is.
Stop it.
Let's curb her wages. Yeah. She earns more than the average Premier League player.
Yeah.
So what is it about Premier League footballers that seems to give everybody a headache?
And what's crazy as well, I was talking to someone about this. Like the NFL season, obviously, TalkSPORT play a major part in the NFL. A lot of people do. It's literally from October to February. They're on more. The average top player in the NFL is on more than the average top player in the Premier League.
And I tell you what, the only people who seem to really make an issue.
I'm surprised Harry was having a moan at this.
Yeah,
he had a bit of a pushback on it. It seemed.
I think Harry Symeou, who's brilliant at what he does. I think his take is that football is broken, and he believes that this is the way of solving it. I agree with him 50% of the way that football is broken.
I think he needs to look at the broadcast revenues The amount of money the broadcasters are making from football, and the amount of money that's sloshing around in football, and then you realise that the wages is the smallest of the problems.
Yeah, if we're gonna start curbing the free market of football, also, I don't think that people are. If you actually start doing this, what will happen is everybody that wants to curb and sort of save football and curb the wages that you can earn in the Premier League, I think they enjoy the Premier League being a great league. They enjoy the fact that the best players in the world play here. The best manager in the world is in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Well, the best player in the world, Rodri, until recently, was in the Premier League.
Agreed.
That doesn't happen. Pep Guardiola, if
that
you believe
vanishes if we curb.
They all go to Italy.
Yeah,
they all go
100%.
and earn the big money
Go
in
to
Spain,
Saudi.
or they go to Saudi.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
You want the best talent here. The best talent has to be paid well to be here.
yeah, I think it's always. I think people are very reluctant to admit this, but it's envy. People go, well, I don't earn. That's more money than I earn in a lifetime. Yeah, you're not a brilliant footballer, mate.
Yeah, you
know what I mean?
Yeah,
well,
you're
look,
not,
I drive a bus.
You're not the best
I'm
in
a plumber.
class.
You
Agreed.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
People always want to attack footballers.
No,
They're
people
the
always
best at what they do.
Yeah, and
Just
do you know how
appreciate
good you
them.
have to be to get to
always
that?
so
to a
jealous.
Premier League footballer.
I know. And how hard you've had to work along the way.
I think people forget that. All right, let's hear from a man that it'd be interesting to hear his views, actually. Fulham owner, owns a few other things as well. Shahid Khan was speaking to Will Gavin. This is what he had to say about salary caps.
For the sport to be sustainable, you have to have some of those. You have to have some of those guidelines that have to be enforced. So there is competitive balance and there is sustainability. So all of that really is necessary, really, for the sport.
Do you understand why there are some people who rally against it?
Yeah, I understand. But I think when you look at a holistic picture, why is NFL so successful? Okay, salary cap.
All right, I've just got this up here. This is the highest earners for 25-26. This is salary and endorsement, so it's a bit skewed, sorry. Stephen Curry, 155.8 million. LeBron James, 133.7. Giannis Antetokounmpo, $100 million. Kevin Durant, just shy of $100 million. That's what the NBA stars are earning.
Yeah,
it's astronomical money.
But do you know what? I feel like I'm in the massive minority.
No, you're not. I don't think you are.
In terms of what I'm about to say, though, Ad.
Okay,
like, you know, when you tell me that somebody earns that kind of money, do you know what I say? Which
Good on you. Good on you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You're smashing it up, mate.
Yeah.
Go and earn your money.
Yeah. You
Like,
deserve it.
When I was young, everybody wanted to get rich. Like I was of an era where garage music was big, and you had So Solid, Dizzy. Everybody was singing about do it, make money today, do it, go and get rich, do it, go and earn, work hard, work your fingers to the bone, and try and succeed and do the best for your family. Now everyone goes, they shouldn't earn that money. What, you should? You should have it, should you? It's ridiculous. Good luck to the footballers earning their money. They bring a product to this country that is the best product in the world, and I think good luck to them. But obviously, that's a very unpopular way of looking at it.
Is there a way, though, that... And I agree, Premier League is the best league in the world. The players in the league are the best in the world. Is there a way that money drips down, or should it drip down to the Championship, to League One?
I tell you what, if you play in the Championship, if you play for Queen's Park Rangers, you earn far more money than anyone who plays in Serie B. You earn far more money than anyone who plays in Ligue 2.
Yeah. What?
Ligue 2? I'm guessing Ligue 1, Ligue 2. Is that right? Mate, I'm just demonstrating. I'm bilingual. Right? So it is dripping down.
Yeah.
You are far wealthier if you play for QPR than if you play for the equivalent of QPR in Spain, France, or Italy.
Yeah. What if, though, you know, when an accountant looks at the books, and you always see these, and you always hear about it as well, these football clubs barely make profit, don't they? I mean, they are literally hanging on by a thread it feels like by a thread every single season. They're taking out loans and more loans on the clubs. So it's weird. It's a business where you're paying out so much in wages and salary. Ultimately, it's a business where the clubs aren't actually making that much money. They're almost working on debt, a lot of these clubs.
Yeah, look.
So as a business, it almost makes no sense.
Yeah, I think what happens is, though, you kind of run it at debt, and then when you sell it, you make a fortune. Like, if you think about what clubs are generally, if you look at what Roman Abramovich bought Chelsea for and what it's worth now, if you look at even what Clear Lake bought Chelsea for and what it's worth now, that's where the money is made. It's kind of made on point of sale, isn't it? But look, I don't like the idea of I like the idea of saving football. I think that there is a major problem, but I don't think attacking the players or having a pop at the players earning money or creating some sort of weird salary cap barrier where we don't have a free market of football. That isn't how I see the world. I feel like what you should be able to do in any industry is go out, do your best, work as hard as you can, become one of the best. And let's face it, if you are a Premier League footballer, you are fantastic at what you do. And I'm full of admiration for anybody that makes it to that level. Like, do you know how amazing you have to be to play?
Oh, dude.
Like, and you know when people like us who've never played the game at any kind of level, we go, then we're saying it all through the lens of they're amazing and therefore we can criticise.
Yeah.
Like
I'm certainly not saying they're crap based off them actually being crap. I'm saying that
they're probably, in terms of if you think of how many people play football, they have got to the 0.01% of people in their field.
Yeah. And
of course they earn a lot of money.
In any other field, if you're in the 0.01%...
Everybody if you're a film star and you are in the top 1%, if you're The Rock or whoever, you earn a fortune. Nobody's saying salary cap him. If you are Piers Morgan, who is one of the most famous people in this country, nobody's saying salary cap him. Why are we saying Cole Palmer shouldn't be able to earn as much money as he can? Because he's working class? Is it that? I'm asking. Is it based upon...
It's the working class thing, and it's the fact
working
that...
class fans, working class people, therefore they shouldn't earn this
It's
kind of
working class fans, it's working class people, it's people that are already struggling to pay for season tickets, people that are struggling because they feel like they're being priced out of
But they're
watching...
not being priced out. The reason that your season ticket is extortionate has nothing to do with how much money is going into Cole Palmer's skyrocket. It's got everything to do with the greed of your chairman and the greed of your owners.
Very quickly, there has been a massive swing in the game over on talkSPORT 2 between Middlesbrough and Ipswich. Ipswich just had a penalty saved. They should have had a penalty. Remember that handball one a few moments ago? They've had a penalty saved. Now, they've gone down the other end. Middlesbrough and scored. I think it's an own goal. Let's have a quick look. Oh, it's horrendous. It's horrendous. Oh, it's one of the worst own goals I've seen in a long... It's Jamie Carragher-esque. Peak Jamie Carragher own goal.
Oh,
your
shots
friend.
fired at Carragher for no reason there.
Your good
Didn't
friend.
need to say that.
Cedric Kipray...
I'd go
Frank
Sinclair is my go. Frank Sinclair or Jimmy Traore are my go.
Please, anyone watching that right now, tell me that's not one of the worst own goals you've ever seen. That game right now over on talkSPORT 2. He wants the ground to swallow him right now. All right, when we come back, it's time for everyone's favourite feature, Too Good, Too Bad. Playing football is Friday. Ade Oladipo Rory Jennings. Bit of boxing tonight. York Hall Bethnal Green. Kieran Conway puts his British and Commonwealth middleweight titles on the line against the very good, very undefeated George Liddard. Remember, you can watch it live tonight only on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
All right, it's time for the best part of the show. Let's do this.
Too good? Todd Bowley has become our sporting director. The man's never worked in European football before. So the fact that he's now in charge of this recruitment drive fills me a little bit with fear.
Too bad.
Going out and signing with Charleston, it's huge, isn't it? He will certainly score goals for them.
All right, this is Too Good, Too Bad, where me and Rory take it in turns to pick one player we're looking forward to see playing this weekend and one who desperately needs a performance. Rory, let's start on the lighter side of things, as always. Who are you looking forward to see playing this weekend?
I mean, the player that I'm just desperate to see get in action, I really hope he starts, is Esteval for Chelsea. Off the back of scoring that last minute winner at Stamford Bridge to send the Matthew Harding lower and the rest of the stadium into raptures. I just think that we have like a real superstar, like a Brazilian Hollywood footballer that I can't wait to see.
There's not many of them around.
No,
that's what it is now.
He's like a maverick. He's like
I hope he isn't changed.
What,
I hope that Enzo doesn't.
System player.
Yeah, no, I hope Enzo doesn't tell him, look, you got to get the ball past it, as opposed to the step overs and the drop of the shoulders that we see.
I hope so as well. Yeah. But if he is given license to just charge his fullback, I think that he could be brilliant. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him play this weekend. Who are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, now, even more so, because you told me he's got 18 goals in 18 games against Manchester United. I mean, we've not even spoken about the assists, by the way. He must have bundles of those. Mo Salah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing Mo Salah play.
18 goals against Manchester United is ludicrous.
Yeah. And I think he scored a couple of goals for Egypt, isn't it? Egypt through to another World Cup. He scored a couple of goals for them as well. So he's probably itching to get back. And there's that incredible photo, I think I showed you, Liverpool put up. Him, Ekitike, Wirtz, Isak and Szoboszlai. And it's almost like, okay, we're ready.
Yeah, they mean business.
It looks like
the trailer to Reservoir Dogs.
Isn't it? It is. They've all got their heads down. And I think Salah, look, he would have heard the criticism. And I think he's like, okay, maybe I need to remind you boys again.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Salah.
And it's a perfect occasion for him to do it as well.
Nothing better, is it? Anfield on a Sunday, your biggest rivals. I think it's going to be a big one. All right, who needs a performance?
I mean, in terms of needing a performance, it's Ange Postecoglou. I think his job is reliant upon him finding a victory.
Do you think it's that bad? Do you think if he... Do you I know you like to play,
He might get away with a draw.
Okay, I was going to ask you that.
He might get away with a draw.
If he loses, you think he's sacked?
If he loses, he's sacked. It just can't go on. It just becomes untenable, doesn't it? If Postecoglou gets beat again, if Nottingham Forest will probably... If they do get beat, they probably end up in the relegation zone.
And that's 8 games without a win.
It's suddenly symbolic, isn't it? Suddenly, they are in the relegation zone. They'll have a situation where someone like Burnley or West Ham have leapfrogged them. I think at that point, Mr. Marinakis said enough's enough. So in terms of who needs something this weekend, you could almost say that the person who needs a result more than anyone else this weekend is Postecoglou, because he is the only person who I think will lose his job if it doesn't go his way.
Yeah, and I think the worst thing for him as well is that the fans, they loved Nuno, didn't they?
Yeah.
They loved Nuno.
I think they were ready to love again as well, but just not somebody inept.
Yeah, no, you're right.
What about you? Who do you think needs the performance?
I've said his name already in terms of who I'd like to see.
Oh, what,
Salah.
you double dropping Salah?
I'm double dropping Salah. He needs a performance. He does. I don't think there's anyone biting at his heels to take that right side. I mean, everyone's spoken about Frimpong playing there, or somehow someone going out wide. Maybe Wirtz going out wide and cutting in. Salah's, with Ronaldo, is the best wide player we've maybe seen of that kind of ilk. I know there's Beckham, and I know you like to bring Beckham into the conversation, but that type of ilk, he's the best wide player we've seen in the Premier League maybe ever. He needs a performance to remind people that the legs haven't dropped. A lot of people said, he signed this new contract and all of a sudden he's vanished. I think he needs to remind people that he can still do it. Yes, there's a yard of pace that has gone, so he almost needs to sort of reimagine his game a little bit. If you can't go on the outside,
what do you think he needs to do here?
A goal,
just a goal,
just a goal.
Yeah,
just a screen part. Like remember that goal he scored against Chelsea maybe about 4 seasons ago, where Van Dijk crossed it over
in front of the Kop.
Yeah, like for some reason he doesn't shoot anymore as much. He almost wants to get as close to the goal as possible. Like maybe he needs a bit of a screamer. Maybe that, but ultimately he just needs a goal.
Yeah, I think that there will be
really good
goals are plenty. I imagine Isak and Salah both on the score sheet for Liverpool this weekend.
Yeah, and he had one really good one where he assisted that beautiful, that outside of the boot he does to Isak, and Isak just headed it over.
Yeah, Modric
but it's
like
there. Yeah, Modric like it. It's there, but I just feel like he needs a performance. I think the whole Liverpool squad need a performance as well, to be honest with you. Fair on Salah? Am I being a bit harsh on Salah?
I don't think
I feel like I've been a bit reserved, actually. I think some Liverpool fans have really gone for him.
No, I don't think you can really go for Salah. I don't think you can be too harsh on him because he's a player who's set the standard and set the bar so high. Like we mentioned earlier in the show, that I feel like over the years he's deserved the Ballon d'Or.
But we have seen father time creep up on players. We've seen it.
But you have to expect and demand. Like, you're far less sympathetic to players like Salah than you are players, fairly more average players. Like, you're gonna demand more from Mohamed Salah than you are Jay Spearing because he's a better player. Yeah. Like, you hold those players to account. You hold those players to the highest standard. So, yeah, the second that Mohamed Salah's gone 3 games without a goal, you get frustrated. You don't do that to average players because they struggle, they struggle to score goals. You're right to hold him to the highest standard because he is to be compared to the very best.
Yeah, you've not got sort of no interest in it in that sense, right? Obviously, as a Chelsea fan. From the outside looking in...
No, I have huge interest in it.
Would you drop Salah?
Mate, I would literally never drop the talisman of the team. Like, whatever club you support over the years, you look at the history of the game. If things were going wrong for Arsenal, whatever the solution, you don't take Henry out of the team.
Yeah.
If things were going wrong for Chelsea, whatever the solution, you don't take Frank Lampard out of the team.
Yeah.
Like, that is never the answer. Like, Wayne Rooney starts for England. Wayne Rooney starts for Man United. Like, even if people go, Lampard hasn't scored for 3 games, Rooney hasn't scored for 3 games, don't care, they'll score this week.
Remember when Hullet dropped Shearer?
Yeah.
And always kept on showing Shearer behind him. Remember in the dugout?
His managerial career never really
done.
recovered.
It was done. Slot cannot.
He was a great manager for us as well,
drop
Ruud Gullit. I felt like Ruud Gullit was going to be brilliant. Like, obviously, he won an FA Cup for us, first trophy that we'd won for 27 years. A big deal.
It's weird how managers like that, just one bad job and that's it.
Yeah.
Hullet was like, considered a very, very good manager. Even Rijkaard.
Yeah, Rijkaard was great at Barcelona.
Great manager, great at Barcelona.
Yeah. That was when we were going head-to-head with Barcelona Mourinho.
Yeah. I think he went to Fenerbahce, I think, and then that was it, vanished.
Yeah.
From management.
Yeah, Di Matteo did the same thing. Di Matteo won a Champions League, had a brief spell at the Hawthorns, and then just had a cigar and thought, nah.
Don't fancy it anymore. Look, Zidane's doing exactly the same thing. All right, the second half of Middlesbrough's 1-0. Sorry, Middlesbrough against Ipswich. Remember, it's 1-0 to Middlesbrough. It's about to get underway on talkSPORT 2. But up next, we are going to be looking ahead to this weekend's other Premier League games, starting with the relegation battle and more.
What do you get when some of the most individual sports stars club together? Well, a melting pot of history, tension, rivalry, friendship and elite stories. Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from the Ryder Cup. Number 1, Tiger's loo roll. The protagonist, Lee Westwood's former caddy, Billy Foster, sat in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the 2 cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, 1 up." As it happened, Europe did go on to win. Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina, when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano Jose. It's no Steve, it's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates, but a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Couldn't hold on at Wolves 1, Brighton 1, 5 minutes to go here, and it's Van Hecker with a header.
We sell all our best players, and we are where we belong right now, which is bottom of the league.
Boos greeting the final whistle here as Wolves continue to await that first win of the Premier League season.
Yeah, the only winless side in the Premier League, Wolves, are rooted to the bottom of the Premier League as well. And you heard the fan just say it there. I mean, when you sell your best players, what do you expect? And you're not replacing them with quality as well. Wolves go to the Stadium of Light, Sunderland. Not going to be easy. 3 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. Sunderland, on the other hand, have started really well. I think they've taken to life back into the Premier League really well under manager Regis Labrie. I saw a fan say, look, I've been watching Sunderland. I don't know where I saw this tweet, but it kind of made me chuckle. I've been watching Sunderland for 30 years, and I can 100% say that Granit Xhaka is the best player we've ever had at the club.
Noel Quinn's fuming. Noel Quinn's livid with that.
Yeah. But I guess it's brought some composure to them. And look, I mean, the results don't lie. They're right now, they're mid-table, and obviously it's going to get harder. And teams are going to start working out the way in which they play. But right now, it's the best start Sunderland could have dreamt of.
Granit Xhaka is doing what he is meant to do. Look, Sunderland, it didn't necessarily go their way against Manchester United, but they won't be defined by how they get on at Old Trafford. Their season will be defined about how they get on in what are considered to be their winnable fixtures.
Yeah.
But how do they get on against Manchester United at the Stadium of Life, for example, is far more significant for them than how they get on against Manchester United at Old Trafford. If Granit Xhaka lands at Sunderland, takes the captaincy, and somehow ends up steering Sunderland to survival, regardless of what happens in other areas of the transfer market, I think on some definition of the best transfer of the summer, if Granit Xhaka keeps Sunderland up, that is the best transfer. Like, that's better than Alexander Isak helping Liverpool retain a league, for example, because it's so unexpected. For a year now, for 2 years, in fact, we've just been listening to people constantly tell us
by the way,
that the chasm between the Championship and the Premier League is just insurmountable, and he will prove that it isn't.
Mate, and you say chasm between the Championship and the Premier League. Remember, this is the team that back-to-back promotions.
Yeah.
So some of their players are League One players.
Yeah,
Obviously, they've changed quite a few.
over-promoted, weren't
They've gone back to back to back. Do you know what I mean? And that in itself, I think, is a fantastic
I'd love them
achievement.
to stay up as well.
Yeah, I like Sunderland.
They add so much to the Premier League.
Absolutely.
Great support, great
gigantic
history.
club. Yeah. We spoke about Nottingham Forest a bit earlier, and we said, what the fans are going through. Imagine if you're a Wolves fan. And 4 years ago, I mean, the players you had at your club, remember they were getting compared. Everyone used to kind of like them to Portugal. Used to wear the same kind of colours.
Yeah, they even had a kit, didn't they?
Same. And they used to actually play football the same. It was very good footballers. They can't buy a win.
I know.
And they sell all their best players. I remember when they were, I'm going to use your phrase again, a Rizzler paper away, I think, for getting into the quarterfinals of a European competition.
At one point, under Espirito Santo, I thought they were going to win the Europa League.
Yeah.
I actually thought they were going to do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not happened. It shows you how unsustainable it all is. You know, when you're trying to do things beyond what you actually...
Beyond your means and you gamble.
Yeah. They had the link with the agent and whatever else, and it's just... And they had that money from Fosun. I think it was Chinese money.
You know when it went all wrong? And I don't want to pin it on one player. Remember they signed that young kid, Fabio Silva?
Yeah.
I think they signed him for like 30 odd... Was it 40 million? I thought it was like 37 million. He just vanished. Yeah. Like nothing. Zero.
You
can't... If you're Wolves, you can't spend money on players like that, get no return for it,
no,
and the player just vanishes.
No, this is it. You're everything. There's major jeopardy. You have to get decisions right.
Yeah,
and yeah. I mean, look, I think that they will go down. I think they're the only team that I'm ready to say are going to go down. Look, and I would like to be wrong. I think Wolves again. They're a good club and they belong in the Premier League. But out of everyone, I feel like it's very difficult to say who's going to go. Like West Ham look like they can go, but all it takes is Espirito Santo to get it going right.
Mate, I know you're saying this, and I think you're being kind to the man I'm going to mention next, but I can pin what you just said to Burnley there as well.
I feel like Burnley could do it.
No, I just don't. I don't. Burnley take on Leeds, and I'm already thinking it's a relegation battle, that game.
It is a relegation battle.
Yeah, yes,
it is.
Already.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a 6
8 games in already.
Yeah, it's a 6-pointer, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I feel like Burnley can do it. I'm not ready to say that they are done. Whereas Wolverhampton Wanderers, to me, look like they're done, and Forest are done if they persevere with their manager.
Very quickly, let's go backwards very quickly. Sunderland versus Wolves, scoreline.
I feel like if Wolves are to have any chance of surviving, this is the fixture that they have to get something out of. But I think that Sunderland will be too strong. I think the belief and the feel-good factor of Sunderland is going to be a little bit too strong. I think Sunderland edge it, but it'll be tight. 2-1 Sunderland. You?
Close in it. I can see a draw here.
Yeah,
because you're right.
Not good enough for anyone. That
no, not at all. Not at all. For Wolves, certainly not. But I mean, they need anything right now. Wolves. I mean, the fans have already turned their back on the club. It seems, and not in that way. They're still going to turn up, but in terms of the hope of staying in the Premier League. All right, Burnley versus Leeds, two promoted sides. It's going to be a tricky encounter. This one. Burnley at home would expect to get the win because you need to win these games. But Leeds have had the better start to the Premier League.
Yeah, Leeds have most certainly had a better start to the Premier League.
But they have. Yeah.
I've been impressed. The problem that they have, though, I feel like it's such an easy conversation to have here. Is Dominic Calvert-Lewin going to be enough for them to survive? Is Dominic Calvert-Lewin going to score the goals to keep them in the league? And I'm inclined to say no. I don't think Calvert-Lewin is about the Premier League life.
Could he get 10?
10 Premier League goals?
I know. I mean, how many?
Of course he can't.
Probably can get 10 in Everton.
He wants to get 10 in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
He won't get 10 for the rest of his career in the Premier League. To get 10 goals from this season, you're mad. Of course he doesn't get 10. The question becomes, does he need to get 10? And no, can they survive without him getting 10 is more the question. And
look, shared around.
Yeah, can they be shared around? Can they limp to draws? Can they keep enough? Can they be stingy enough at the back to do all right? You know, I watched them against Tottenham, and it felt like Tottenham were always going to win that game, and Tottenham ultimately did accrue the 3 points. But there was a moment where you thought Leeds could get something out of the game, dangerous from set pieces. So, look, it's going to be really difficult for Leeds, primarily because I don't think Dominic Calvert-Lewin can do a job. Like, there was a chance, the chance that he had. You've seen that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, went whizzing past my bedroom window in northwest London. It's a ridiculous effort. So it basically comes down to
how do you? This is. I didn't want this to turn into a Dominic Calvert-Lewin discussion. I know he's had his injury.
That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
How do you drop off the way he's dropped off? Do you remember, like, the Euros?
He was just a good manager under Ancelotti. He was a good player under Ancelotti. I think a good manager managed to work out a way of getting something out of him. Yeah. And players have purple patches.
Yeah.
Like, it happens. Very, very average players can play in a very impressive way for a short period of time. Like, there was a period. Edouard Mendy, the keeper that Chelsea had when we won the European Cup.
Won the best keeper in the world, didn't he? He won that, didn't he?
Well, he had international silverware. He obviously won the European Cup with us.
He won AFCON with Senegal.
Yeah.
He literally won about 3 or 4 trophies back to back. Yeah.
He wasn't a good keeper. He just had a purple patch that steered him in a ridiculous direction and portrayed him in such a positive light. But Edouard Mendy wasn't a good goalkeeper. He was never even a better goalkeeper than Kepa Arrizabalaga, who was a very average goalkeeper as well. It just had a purple patch. That, I believe, is what happened to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Like, he will never, ever hit those heights again. You know, scoring goals for England and all that.
No, it's done. He'll never get the English squad again. It's got from bad to worse for Kieran McKenna's Ipswich side, losing 2-0 to Middlesbrough. Remember, Ipswich 9th in the Championship, Middlesbrough 2nd. Morgan Whittaker's just scored for them. And, I mean, Kieran McKenna, I'm certainly not going to say purple patch. I think he's a fantastic manager, but it's not going well for him in this stint in the Championship right now. Fulham versus Arsenal. Interesting game, because we've been speaking about Arsenal and their game against Crystal Palace. They have the small matter of going to West London and taking on Fulham. It's not been the happiest of hunting grounds.
Well, it's where their title charge. It's where their title charge took a real battering recently, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this it's interesting.
This
isn't
is
it?
not an easy fixture.
It's not an easy fixture. Fulham are a very good side. They also have an excellent manager, but it's where we're going to learn exactly who Arsenal are, because we know that Arsenal are very good when it comes to those very big games. Last year, Arsenal won the mini league. You know, the mini league of the teams that are in and around you.
Yeah.
Arsenal were unbeaten against Man City.
Those teams in the top 6. Yeah.
Generally speaking, if you win your mini league, you win the league.
Yeah. Arsenal
did win their mini league and they didn't win the league. Like, Liverpool didn't beat Arsenal last season.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester City didn't beat Arsenal last season. Chelsea, you know, like, it's a very impressive record that Arsenal have against the top teams. But when they should have won the league that year, they lost at Craven Cottage and then they got beat by West Ham, didn't they, at the Emirates? Yeah. So this is the kind of fixture where they can get caught out. So we're going to learn exactly who Arsenal are. Has the transfer window that they had, bringing in the creativity of Eze and the finishing qualities of Gyökeres, is that going to be enough to get them over the line in these fixtures that has cost them heavy previously? I think they're going to romp it.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
I want to say that Fulham
Arsenal have to win this.
No, that's it.
They have to win it, particularly with Liverpool playing Manchester United the next.
Because all of a sudden, then if Liverpool win, they go to. It's going to be. I think it's going to be sort of them both switching places all the way until the end of the season. With Arsenal, when you look at that front 6, I think me and you having a discussion on your platform, the club, and I think you said Arsenal have the best starting 11 in the Premier League. Have I got that wrong?
They undoubtedly have the best starting 11. I would go a bit further and probably say they have the best. I think they probably have the best squad. I think they are the best team. They are the best group of players. They certainly don't have the best manager, and they have it in them to press the self-destruct button. But I don't think it's particularly controversial to say that they are the best team in terms of player for player.
Yeah. What would your 6 going forward? I think they have the best defence. I'm not even going to debate that. I think defensively they're fantastic. Even when, by the way, I mean, you can take Saliba out and put Mascara in. I think.
Can I ask you a question on that defence?
Go ahead.
You know, certain records, they're not to be challenged, are they? Like, I don't.
They're not going to break Chelsea's. Do
you think they could?
No, absolutely.
So the record initially, right? The record that everybody said will never be broken was Arsenal. I think George Graham had a situation where Arsenal only conceded 17 goals in a Premier League season.
Yeah.
Chelsea then went beyond that. Chelsea conceded 15. That felt ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nobody, that Ricardo Carvalho, Petr Cech, John Terry as captain. It feels like that record will live forever. Nobody breaks conceding only 15 goals. Arsenal's back line at the moment is on course for it, and it isn't only the back line. They've got a brilliant back line. They've got depth in that back line. You know, Ben White was brilliant play. He's not getting in the team. You've got Lewis Skelly not getting in the team. Calafiori's too good. You've got the two centre-halves, Mosquera, the keeper. Then you've got the protection, Zubimendi,
They're playing
Rice.
4 centre-backs. He's basically copied Arteta's... Pep Guardiola's idea of playing... Get rid of natural fullbacks and play 4 centre-backs. Calafiori can play centre-back. Timber clearly has got that about him.
Timber's so good.
And then this Mosquera came on against Liverpool. He looked like he'd been there for 10 years.
And then it's the protection.
And then you've got David Raya, who might be the best goalkeeper in the league. I know you said it might be Donnarumma, but it probably is David Raya.
It could be David Raya. I've got no issue with saying it.
And then you've got Rice, when everything goes wrong, who's going to get back and tackle you.
And then you've also got a front line that a great defence. Like, Bukayo Saka puts a shift in, you know what I mean? Like,
And by the way, removing Bukayo Saka, who's no small guy, but all about 6'2".
Yeah, they're lumps.
All massive boys, aren't they? Remember, everyone used to have a dig at Arsenal when it was Thomas Rosicky and Carl Zola.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, they're too small. He's almost gone back to peak Arsene Wenger days of Vieira, Petit,
George Graham,
Roberto.
George Graham. It was the
he decided to get lumps in.
Yeah. Look, I think overall that the 15 goals that Chelsea conceded will probably never be broken. But this Arsenal back line and the entire defensive unit, if you include Zubimendi and Rice in it, it's unbelievable. And
they've conceded 3 so far on 7.
And Liverpool have conceded 9 by now. So every time Arsenal concede 1, Liverpool concede 3. If you want to make a case for Arsenal winning the league, that is the most compelling case that you can make.
Yeah.
Your defence will propel you to the league title. Liverpool's defence is slightly creaky.
Very, very quickly, do they have enough goals in their front 3?
They have enough goals. The only flaw that I can see in this Arsenal side is the manager.
Okay. All right, still 4 more games to preview on Thank Footballers Friday.
turn this game on its head, and it's Jack Grealish who's got it, and just listen to the roar here.
When he gets on the pitch, you know, he keeps the ball so well. He's creating a lot of opportunities for us as Everton.
So if he continue and he's getting better and better and better, and all of a sudden Everton will start climbing the table, Everton are putting in good performance, you know, their main man is Jack.
Yeah, the main man is Jack, but Jack can't be the main man on Saturday because obviously he's on loan to Everton from Man City and thus won't play, which is a massive blow to Everton because he seems to be sort of everything that the club needs at the moment. He's reinvigorated himself. The club have almost turned a corner, I think, with that type of player, that type of profile, especially David Moyes as well, who said, how's it going to work with him having a player like Jack, who is a maverick, and that's not really been what David Moyes has been about. So, look, big blow for Everton, big blow for Jack as well. Obviously, would have liked to have played. Massive for Man City, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
right, does
it? Doesn't sit comfortably, does it?
Yeah.
Like, I understand that.
Yeah, you don't want him, and now he can't play.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get it.
There was a time at Chelsea where we owned Thibaut Courtois. And we played Atletico Madrid and we allowed him to play against us. He had a game of his life and knocked us out of the European Cup semi-final. It was a disastrous move for us. Like, we did the honourable thing. We went, no, Courtois should be able to play. He played against us, had the game of his life. And honestly, he was the reason that we didn't go through to the Champions League final. So I can understand why you don't do it. But I feel sorry for Jack Grealish. And I think the game is a spectacle. You know, if you just look at it for football, Everton with Grealish, this game suddenly becomes something really spicy. Without Grealish, I just think that City get the job done.
Yeah. You know, there's different types of loan players, isn't it? There's loan players where players go out for experience and you know the club really thinks something of them and they're going to come back. And there's loan players like Jack who no one ever expects him to wear City colours again. It's done.
If I've understood this move correctly, the reason for the loan is just a way of facilitating the ultimate sale.
Yeah.
Like, he's an Everton player for the long haul, but
this is it.
The economics of the situation require him to go on loan for a year.
Yeah, and I guess if you're Man City and you're thinking, well, one second, Everton are probably not paying all the wage. I don't expect that to happen. So we're not going to pay you to play against us.
I understand why it can't happen. From Man City's perspective, they're never, ever going to allow that to happen. They appreciate that Jack Grealish is a talisman. They appreciate that Jack Grealish is capable of anything, really. I think he's a tremendous player. Like, I love Jack Grealish. I think it's a travesty that Tuchel didn't have him in the England setup. I desperately think he should go to America next year with England. I think he will add something very special to what England can offer. But yeah, it's a shame he's not playing. He's such a good player. He's such a good bloke. But ultimately, without him, I don't think Everton can really threaten City, do you?
No, they can't. I think Man City will win this one, and I think they'll win it quite comfortably as well at home, and expect Haaland to score a couple. All right, the next game, I think, between the two best managers in the league, I really do. Crystal Palace take on Bournemouth, so that's Glasner versus Iraola. I mean, it's funny because these are two managers that really could be managing Bayern Munich and Barcelona. They're managing Palace and Bournemouth, which are no disrespect to both clubs, big clubs in their own right. Crystal Palace, FA Cup winners. Bournemouth, who kind of had their wobbles towards the back end of last season, have lost the whole defence and goalkeeper, and they're still producing good results because of, I think, the brilliance of Semenyo. I think he's fantastic, glorious. This is a really good game of football, a really good game of football.
It's two of the most exciting managers in the world going head to head.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Are we exaggerating that?
No, I don't think.
Okay.
I
just said it and I thought, is that right? Like, one could manage Bayern Munich, one could manage Barcelona. Have I gone too far?
I think that there is a world where this is currently Crystal Palace taking on Bournemouth, and that's where the managers are going head to head. But these two could face off again in a Champions League final one day.
Yeah. By the way, when I say two of the best managers, I mean, they've done well as well. Palace is 6th, Bournemouth are 4th.
Yeah,
Palace were unbeaten up into the Everton game for felt like about a year.
Yeah. I think that it's very difficult to see how this one's going to go because Palace under Glasner are capable of anything. Very difficult to break down, very difficult to beat. Did you see all that Mateta? You seen Mateta and Zaha sort of going for each other?
No.
Have you seen any of that?
No.
Yeah, Mateta and Zaha have had a little bit of a pop at one another on social media. I imagine
context. I need context.
I imagine it's nothing too serious. I think the suggestion was that Zaha may have ridiculed Mateta when he first arrived.
Okay.
And now obviously he's scoring goals and he's one of the best players at Palace.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
So they've had a thing, but ultimately I can't separate these two. I think it's got a draw written all over it because I think they're both brilliant teams.
Oh, we're going to actually play out that video a bit. Have we got it now? Can we play it now? This is, okay, Zaha and Mateta going back and forth a little bit. Let's play it out.
It's disgusting when I see someone that I thought was a friend do that. Like, the conversation that was had was his chances of playing for France way back when he wasn't playing for Palace, and there was 10 players that he had this conversation with. And as friends, we laughed it off, but we were joking around that it's going to be difficult, especially with Benzema, all these different players playing in those positions. Wouldn't you be shocked that this person has made out like there's some sort of hate from me? Why would he say my name when there was 10 people? Or is it because with Zaha's the biggest name?
Oh, interesting.
He meant business as well, because he then recorded exactly the same video in French for his French followers.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah, he made sure that there was no sort of issue with. I like Zaha, so I probably back him all the time. Yeah, I think he was a class player.
Yeah, and I think when he came, like Mateta's
when he
almost
first arrived.
No, and he's almost had this late burst. Right, he's almost like an Indian summer. Like, he's 28, and all of a sudden he's playing the best football of his life. When he came, the ball used to bounce off him. All of a sudden,
but he has become.
But he's become a force.
Yeah, he's become something that I didn't think he could be.
Yeah, he's a force. He really is.
But also I agree with Zaha here. Firstly, if it's a conversation that's happened in private and there's 10 people, why is he being named? Why is he taking a private conversation to air? And also, even if Zaha was quite scathing about his opportunity of playing for France, there's nothing controversial in that anyway.
Yeah. It's almost like he's just trying to say, get better.
Saying that Mateta wasn't going to ever play for France when he's not getting in the Palace side, and Benzema is winning Champions Leagues. Yeah, of course, that's a fair enough thing to say.
Yeah, and by the way, can you imagine the 10 in front of him? I mean, this is France.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a list of strikers in front of you. But look, congratulations to Mateta. He's in the squad now, and good luck to him when it comes to the World Cup. All right, very quickly, let's run through this. Tottenham versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa starting to get better under Unai Emery. I mean, we shouldn't really sort of have thought they wouldn't. And Tottenham having an amazing start to life under Thomas Frank.
Yeah, I think Tottenham are going to be too strong here, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I just think that it's such a good example. You know, to clubs that are struggling a bit, clubs like West Ham United, clubs like Manchester United, just look at what Tottenham have done. They've appointed a serious manager and they've become a serious football club. You go out and you get a clearly proven, brilliant manager, and that's what Thomas Frank is. That's what Iraola is. That's what Glasner is. That's what Marco Silva is. Why are you wasting time on someone like Ruben Amorim when Tottenham are there as an example of being a club in disarray when they had a dreadful manager last season, to suddenly becoming a really serious football club this year?
Yeah, and by the way, you spoke about Arsenal's sort of not conceding goals, and look, it's not the same, but Tottenham only conceded 5. They've only conceded 5 and they scored 13. I mean, Tottenham have the 3rd best goal difference in the league. Like, he's doing the right things there. He shored them up defensively.
He's just a good man.
And they're scoring goals. That's it, right? He's just a good manager, isn't he?
Sometimes it's just like a really simple way of approaching football, isn't it? But it's true. He is just quite simply a really good manager who knows how to get points, knows how to win games, knows how to rejig his system to beat Pep Guardiola, knows when the value of a point is there, knows when to go away from home and maybe shut up shop. Thomas Frank is just a good manager. And with him at the helm, I think Tottenham are annoyingly going to be quite a good force.
All right, let's talk about 2 other good managers as well next. Final one, Brighton and Hove Albion versus Newcastle United. Herslow, great manager. I think we all know Eddie Howe, very good manager as well. Brighton, I don't know what to expect from Brighton. On one given day, Brighton could beat you, right? And Danny Welbeck all of a sudden decides he wants to turn into, I don't know, Benteke. Aston Villa Benteke. Like, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, Danny Welbeck scoring loads of goals, which is strange. I wonder how far away. I wonder if he's even in the conversation to make an England squad, Danny Welbeck. And then you got Newcastle United, who, I mean, they're new number 9 scoring goals. Well, we know that I think they've got the best midfield in the league. This is an even game, isn't it? It's difficult to pick this one.
It is quite difficult. It is difficult. I feel like Newcastle should be too strong for Brighton, and it's you know, if Newcastle are to want to re-establish themselves as becoming a team that will always be ever present in the Champions League. You know, they qualified, then they didn't do particularly well in there. They had the year out of it. They're back in it now. If they want to be in it again next year, I feel like going to Brighton is the exact kind of fixture that they need to win.
Not easy, though.
No, but in terms of winning away from home, which you have to do in order to accrue enough points to qualify for the Champions League, Brighton is the kind of fixture where Newcastle should be going to win, shouldn't they?
Yeah, no, you're right. What do you make of their new striker, this
Voltamari?
Yeah.
I like it.
Wait. Can we get the pronunciation of his name?
I've done it perfectly. My Germanic's excellent.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. I do trust you. I do trust you.
Made.
Go on, one more
right?
time. No, it's wrong. No, it's, it's right. It's right.
Yeah.
What do you make of him? He's massive, isn't he? He's almost like the Ekatike built. But
he's got good feet.
Really good feet. Like his penalty was just
penalty was crazy.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I know. The penalty was
crazy. How dare you score a penalty like that?
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Oh yeah, look, he's a good player. I mean, it's hard for him because the shoes that he has to fill are arguably the best striker in the Premier League. But I think
he's filling them.
I think he's going to do well. The Gallagher are obviously going to love him as well
because of
that. But the Gallagher are going to love him. But I just feel like there's so much pressure on him because he is now they're relying on him to score the goals.
Yeah, and I think it's not helping with Visser being out injured.
No,
you could have almost just slowly but surely sort of got him into the squad. He's in now. All of a sudden, he's got to play and he's got to start every single game.
Yeah, but I think Newcastle will beat Brighton.
If I'm a Newcastle fan, I'm watching Gordon's performances. I know it was Latvia, but every time Gordon puts on an England shirt, it looks half decent. I think Gordon's been really bad for Newcastle.
He's rebranded. He's AG.
Is he now AG? Is that his thing now? AG.
That's
okay.
his thing.
AG. Sorry, let's give him his correct.
Yeah, he's rebranded.
Let's give him his correct initials. AG. He needs to be better for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Really better. That goal
like...
he scored against Latvia, the way he cut in. I've not seen that.
I feel like some of his conduct towards Newcastle, and look, Newcastle fans will be far more qualified to talk about this, but if it was at Chelsea, I wouldn't be over the moon with Anthony Gordon.
Well,
he was considering going to Liverpool.
He's a Liverpool fan. He loves Liverpool.
He was considering going to Liverpool at one point. Didn't he say that it's fair enough that Alexander Isak wants to leave?
Yeah.
You're like, look, mate.
And the thing is, the worst thing about that, he made it known on social media.
Yeah.
I just send Isak a private text. Why have you got to make this personal and
I know.
Put it all out there?
Yeah, it's
Go on in very quickly. Brighton and Hove, Albion, Newcastle.
I think Brighton will beat Brighton. I think Newcastle will beat Brighton.
Yeah.
1-0.
1-0 Newcastle. Yeah, sounds about right. All right, up next, we're going to be looking ahead to the weekend's action in the Championship. Good evening, Fame Footballers. Friday, Ade Oladipo alongside Mr. Rory Jennings. It's getting interesting, that game between Middlesbrough and Ipswich. Ipswich have got one back, 2-1, with 13, 14 minutes left to go in the game. We can now join the action with former Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo and your match commentator John Dunn.
Managed by Cesc Fabregas, hasn't played for them, joined in February, got an injury. And hasn't played, but has joined Ipswich on loan as a cross comes in from the right, headed away by Britton. Corner to Ipswich as we welcome listeners to talkSPORT. What's been a thrilling championship game here live on talkSPORT. It's Middlesbrough 2, Ipswich 1. Goals either side of half-time from Middlesbrough gave them the lead. Ipswich have started to pile the pressure on, and a goal a few minutes ago from Dara O'Shea has given them a route back into the game. They've got a corner here on the left-hand side. Nunes, who delivered the corner that saw O'Shea score for Ipswich. This time it's on the other side, the left side. It's a corner that's headed away by Middlesbrough skipper Dale Fry inside the 6-yard area. Clark will push it back to the halfway line. But Chris, we've got a frantic finish on the way as it's sent back in from Leif Davis. It will go through to Philogene on the right-hand side. He's in the box. He's got target in front of him, the Middlesbrough defender. It's pulled back to O'Shea. First time cross. It came off the head of Fry. It's going to drop to Kipre. Back across the face of goal. It's another corner. It's great stuff to watch, Chris.
Yeah, they're keeping the pressure on, winning all the second balls. Good quality coming into the box. Really making Middlesbrough go and have to defend. But it's like that second phase. Ipswich are more alive to it. Like you say, just anticipating it. But it's good quality coming into the box. Can they go and get that clinical touch? Make sure the offensive player can get across the face of the defender. But at the minute, they're just anticipating, just picking up all second balls.
Sam Silvera is going to come on for Tommy Conway as Middlesbrough make another change as we head to the final 9 minutes of normal time here at the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough 2, Ipswich 1.
You almost feel like there's going to be something else happening in that game. 10 minutes to go in that game. You can listen to it right now over on talkSPORT 2. Let's welcome in Ryan Dilk, second tier podcast host. Ryan, always great to have you on these Friday evenings. Let's start with that one. I mean, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Rob Edwards, just because of what we saw him do with Luton in the Premier League. Obviously, it didn't go so well for them when they got relegated to the Championship. But I think there was a bit of a surprise that he got the job, but he's proving all the doubters wrong. As it stands, Middlesbrough going top of the table.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had a flying start, and I've got a soft spot for Rob Edwards as well. Not just because he's incredibly handsome, but also because he performed a miracle getting Luton promoted, didn't he? And they did fantastically well in the Premier League. Obviously, a bit surprising how everything went last season, but I think we can now, based off how Middlesbrough have started the season, put that down as just one of those things that happens. It was just a bad campaign for everyone involved with Luton Town, but he's now put in a lot of doubters quiet, isn't he, with how Middlesbrough are going. And if they get 3 points here against Ipswich, it'll be a huge result for them. Yeah,
and it's a Middlesbrough side over the last couple of seasons. Let's be honest, they've lost their best players. I mean, every time a player seems to outperform, that they get sold on. I mean, Chubakpom's obviously the obvious one. Are you looking at a team that you think will stay there? I mean, I feel like we've had a few false storms with Middlesbrough, especially under Michael Carrick. We feel like they're going to kick on, then they drop off a little bit. Are you looking at a team that's got enough to stay there, enough in the squad at least?
It's a really tricky one to say, because you're absolutely right. Under Carrick, they did at plenty of times look really, really good, and then everything just kind of fell off, usually in the second half of the season. Whether that happens again, I'm not sure. Obviously, they've got some fantastic players. Hayden Hackney, midfield, will be in the Premier League next season with or without Middlesbrough. I'm absolutely certain about that. Aidan Morris as well is another one I expect to be in the Premier League at some point. They've definitely got a lot of talent. Whether they've got the squad depth, they've definitely improved that over the summer, and that obviously goes a long way in a 46-game championship season. I've got a few concerns about them going forwards. That will certainly be helped if Morgan Whittaker, I mean, he's just got on the score sheet today, his first goal since moving to Middlesbrough for $7 million in January. If he can get some form going this season, that'll go a long way to doing it. Defensively, I've also got concerns because man for man, I'm not massively keen on the players they've got, but under Rob Edwards, he knows how to organise a defence, as we saw with Luton when they got promoted last time. So maybe it's definitely a possibility, but there's obviously a lot of very talented teams in the Championship this season to compete with.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another defeat for Ipswich unless they can get something late. Here, they started the season poorly. They've slowly but surely started to turn it around. Those draws are now turning into wins. Surprised by their start, or do you now expect Ipswich who got a lot of the players still in the squad from the Premier League to start really sort of get going and make a run for a playoff spot?
I would do, yeah. Heading into this game, they had won 3 from 4 and were looking like they were starting to become the team that I think many people were expecting to this season. One concern is their away form, because they have been pretty poor in every away game so far this season. And as things stand, unless something happens in the next few minutes, this will be another one where it'll be another poor result on the road. And it goes without saying that if you want to get promoted from the Championship, you've got to be winning games on the road as well. And to be honest, this is by far their toughest challenge they've had so far. The other games that they've not won in aren't the toughest. So that's something that's got to be amended if they are to get promoted this season. Why they can't win on the road so far, I'm not sure, but it's something Kieran McKenna definitely has to try and work out.
Ryan, QPR take on Millwall, live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow at 12:30. I was very surprised in how well QPR have done since they lost 7-1 to Coventry back in August. Are you surprised by this recovery from
them? I'm not surprised to an extent, because anyone who listens to the podcast will know QPR have been my big dark horses for the season. They're doing extremely well, the form team in the Championship at the time of speaking. The fact that it came after them getting spanked 7-1 at Coventry is a bit surprising. But look, they've got some unbelievably brilliant business done over the summer. The CEO there, Christian Nori, is doing a fantastic job, and Richard Kone, £2.5 million, getting him, who was the League One Player of the Season last year, is ridiculously good business, and he's someone I expect to be in the Premier League as well in the near future. But look, they've got a really young, exciting, talented side there, and with Julien Stéphan, who some people may know did brilliant work over in France. For them to get him looks to have been a real coup. So QPR going really, really well, and it won't surprise me if they do surprise a few other people this season and continue this great form for the remainder of the campaign.
Let's talk about two teams with mixed fortunes. Coventry take on Blackburn. It's live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow. Coventry doing incredibly well, the only unbeaten team in the Championship under Frank Lampard, and obviously he came in to Coventry last season. He kick-started them, unlucky in the playoffs. He's now a pre-season. He's got the squad he wants. Valerian Ismail at Blackburn. I mean, again, a team that can't lose against a team that can't buy a win. But this is the Championship. You never know.
Yeah, I've just lost a lot of money, Ade, because I was fully expecting Rory to ask me that question. To rub in how Frank Lampard's doing, because it's been a bit
I took
of
it off him. I was like, no,
mate, I'm fuming here. I'm not going to speak for the rest of it. All I really want to do is talk to you about how brilliant Frank Lampard is, and Ade's nicked it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They've been, without a doubt, the best team in the Championship so far. They've scored the most goals ever after 9 games of a Championship season with 27. 3 goals a game they're averaging. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And even more incredibly, they've only conceded 7. So the numbers are pretty mad. And yeah, they absolutely deserve to be top because they've been the best team so far. But perhaps the most bizarre thing is, despite how good those numbers have been, in 14 of the previous 20 Championship seasons, they wouldn't be top with 19 points. What's basically happened is when they've won, they've obliterated teams and definitely caught the eye. And that makes it easy to forget that they have drawn a fair few games as well where they haven't been as impressive. So obviously, if they can iron out those creases, then they're laughing. But it's a lot easier said than done when there's 37 games to go. So definitely the most impressive side so far. Whether they keep it up, though, is another question, unfortunately, Rory.
Yeah, I know. Well, fingers crossed they can. Also, tomorrow at 7:45, Leicester versus Portsmouth. That's also live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2. Leicester sit third with just 1 defeat this season, but they're drawing a lot of games, aren't they, Ryan? Do you expect them to turn some of those draws into victories?
First of all, I feel very sorry for all the Leicester and Portsmouth fans having to go to a game at 7:45 on a Saturday night. Could not think of anything worse. But will they turn those draws into wins? I'm not sure. I haven't been massively impressed with Leicester, despite them being third. I think Abdul Fatawu, their star player, they have been massively over-relying on him so far this season. And whether they continue to keep getting the results like they have done, obviously, as you say, drawn a lot of games, but whether they keep not losing as many games as they have done, I'm not too sure. They have obviously got the threat of a points deduction lurking over them at some points. That's something to keep in mind. But yeah, they're doing well so far, but they definitely need to be showing a lot more than what I've seen so far in these first 9 games.
Ryan, just before I let you go, I just want to quickly circle back. We've got a minute or so to Frank Lampard. Obviously, look.
Good man, Ade. You're back in my good books.
No. It's a serious question, though, with regards to Frank. Obviously, look, his managerial career started well, didn't it? Derby, and then he went to Chelsea, maybe too soon, Everton. Now he's at Coventry. Are you almost seeing him mould into a good manager, a manager that's now kind of found the football that he wants to play? Because I look at him and I always felt like he was never going to go back into management. He's taken his Coventry job and he has done fantastically well. And I just wonder if finally the penny might have dropped to him a little bit with regards to the style of football he wants to play.
First of all, I'd say as a Derby fan, we could have another debate about whether he did a good job at Derby, but that's something for another day. But look, I think with Lampard, and it's something that some players, some former players like him who are high profile may also be guilty of. They just kind of went into management maybe a bit too early without cutting their teeth at a coaching level. Because Lampard, as far as I'm aware, didn't really coach at all. He just went straight into management and then it's just gone from there, really. I think maybe that is the case at Coventry now, that he's had a few years' experience under his belt, because one thing Lampard's always been good at as a manager is getting the best out of talented players. Coventry have a very talented team, and we're now seeing that with the likes of Jack Radoni, Haji Wright, etc., who are really flourishing under him. I think last season at times he was perhaps a bit guilty of not having a plan B. For example, in the playoff semi-finals against Sunderland, they were just pumping in cross after cross after cross, and it didn't really get themselves anywhere. And as time progresses, that may be something that comes to bite him once again. But absolutely, so far, they've been fantastic. And if Lampard does get Coventry promoted, it will be an astonishing achievement. And maybe we will start to see him fulfil the potential that I think a lot of people were hoping he would have when he first broke through at Derby.
Ryan, top man as always. Thank you very much. Ryan Dilks, second tier podcast host on that game, Coventry versus Blackburn, is live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow. All right, when we come back, we're going to be looking at Rangers being set to appoint Kevin Muscat as their new manager. Good evening, Thank Footballers Friday. Ade Oladipo, Rory Jennings. A reminder that live and exclusive international cricket returns to talkSPORT 2, the start of England's white ball series in New Zealand. You'll be able to hear ball-by-ball commentary of the entire series with the first T20 getting underway from 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, where you can also see a watch-along on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. Meanwhile, the former England captain Andrew Flintoff joins his former teammate and best mate Steve Harmison for a special interview. Also, you can watch that on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel as well. Here they discuss what it was like for Freddie breaking into the Lancashire setup and how important David Bumble Lloyd was in his development.
John Turner, right? Yeah. Hampshire bowler. He came to South Africa with us, great kid. And then we're sat there, and now when we're practicing, we have a little gazebo set up with analysts and they can watch it all. And it's become like quite a focal point. I like the lads in there because that's when you strike up then conversations that you used to have in the pub. Yeah. And then you got the music on, everyone's relaxed talking. He's there, he goes, "Oh, Fred, did you bowl quick?" I was like, "You what? You what?" He said, "But did you? What pace?" I went, "Is this a wind up?" And then Keezy, he's there, he's laughing his head up.
He would love that.
He's kneeling away. It's like, he had no idea what I did.
I mean, if you're a sports fan, you can listen to those two all day. But if you're a cricket fan, I mean, that must be gold because you know that it's going to be as just organic as humanly possible, those two.
Yeah, I mean, that is... I mean, I'll be listening to that.
Yeah, that's what you want to listen to.
I think anybody with any kind of superficial interest in any sport is going to find that riveting.
Yeah, Harmy and Flintoff. Remember to watch the full interview. Make sure you head over to the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel and subscribe, or you can listen to it via the following on podcast feed as well. It has finished in the game, by the way. Middlesbrough 2, Ipswich 1. Rob Edwards, incredible. Middlesbrough now top of the table. Incredible that. Again, there were a few, sneery people like maybe Rob Edwards isn't the man because of Luton going down to take Middlesbrough up. And, well, so far so good. 8 games done. Middlesbrough top of the championship. A long way to go, obviously, but so far so good. All right, let's talk Rangers. Last week, we were very adamant that Steven Gerrard was going to take his role as Rangers manager again, and we kind of discussed whether or not it was a good step for Steven Gerrard or not. He's decided not to take the job, and it looks like Kevin Muscat is going to come and obviously play for Rangers. Not that much, by the way. I think everyone's talking about like superstar ex-former player. I think he only played like 25 times for them, but did well. Favourite to come in and take the job?
Yeah. Look, this is only a win because getting Russell Martin out the door was the important thing. Getting somebody who is inept out is the priority when you are a club.
Yeah.
But I think that it will feel slightly deflating, just slightly underwhelming, slightly uninspiring that they've gone from an icon like Gerrard to Kevin Muscat.
Agreed.
But Muscat will steer the ship, and I imagine that Gerrard will end up there at some point. The timing just wasn't quite right.
Yeah, at the moment, there is a bit of an issue because Muscat does manage a team called Shanghai Port, and he's got to complete the season, or at least that's what he wants to do. So basically, their season ends in November. I mean, if you're Rangers, I just feel like, are you waiting for Muscat until November? Is there no other manager out there? If Muscat was Jurgen Klopp, I'd understand you wait, don't you? You wait because you desperately want him, but why are you waiting until the end of the season? Like, if you're Muscat, do you want to go or not?
Well, I guess he's in a job. He's in a job.
Yeah, but bigger jobs come along.
That team could be about to win a title. How significant that title is up to you to decide.
They are about to win a title as well, by the way.
So obviously he wants to be there for the trophy parade. Yeah. But no, I do think that Rangers, the ownership, you can understand why when you talk to Rangers fans, who are some of the most devoted in the world, when you talk to them, you can understand why they are furious with the ownership and with what's going on at the club, because it feels like the club are just sort of running blind. This situation around Muscat is ridiculous. Appointing Russell Martin was an embarrassment. Persevering with Russell Martin was shameful. Missing out on Gerrard like this, it's sort of one decision that's appalling, being outdone by another decision that is appalling in very quick succession.
Yeah. Is it as attractive as it once was?
Well, the Rangers job?
Yeah.
To who? Like, they're obviously not in a situation where they're ever going to get the world's best anymore, which is at one point what they could do. They could attract Paul Gascoigne, they could attract Brian Laudrup. When Ali McCoy was scoring goals for them, he was one of the best strikers in world football. So there was a time when they had De Boer there.
Yeah.
That time is gone.
Yeah.
That isn't the way that it is anymore. But they can still attract. It's a wonderful job for Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
It's an iconic job.
And I do think it will be a wonderful job for Steven Gerrard. I do expect Steven Gerrard.
It's a wonderful job for the right man.
Indeed. And the right man I think will be Steven Gerrard, even when that can happen. Rory Jennings, it's been fun. Flew. 3 hours has flown by. Yeah, I'm about to get some pizza as well. One of our little assistant, what do I call him? Phone op, broadcast assistant. Is that his title?
I'll just go with friend.
He's eating pizza in front of us and he knows that we are starving.
Yeah, I'm starving, man.
Yeah, and he didn't even offer us any, so we're about to go out now. There's a slice left and get some. Up next, Sports Bar Boys, Sports Bar Weekender, Jason Cundy and Carlton Cole.